Positive energy all the time. Good to see you all today. Well, here we go. This is not a pleasant conversation, but it's on my mind, so let me deal with it. I'm repping Chicago, Illinois. We have Greensboro in the building. We have Atlanta in the building. Rep your city, rep your city. I want to first say rest in peace to Karmelo Anthony and to the Lewis twins. Kadir and Nazir. Well, not rest in peace to Anthony, but I hope he gets out of jail. My bad. I hope he gets out of jail. So I just want to say free Karmelo Anthony, and rest in peace to um, Kadir and Nazir. And hopefully young Anthony gets out of this case he has. Shreveport is in the building. Big time city making big moves. So the internet is in an uproar over the confrontation between Karmelo and Austin, and Austin lost his life. So there's a lot of anger over that. And I'm going to talk about that first, and then I'm going to talk about the twins. And then I'm going to talk about what I think about both situations, how they kind of go together. The situation with Karmelo Anthony, I would say, is not his fault. And I would say it's not Austin's fault. I would say it's the Board of Education's fault. And I would say that a lot of white Americans are at fault. Uh, when it comes to going to school and stuff like that, it's an American culture. And white Americans have created these cultures that we all end up being a part of. And white America is a bully culture. I mean, I don't have no other way to say it. Racism in itself is bullying. Okay. Okay. If you live in a country that only has 13% black people and you mistreat them and you are the majority, that's bullying. That's bullying. The racism that black Americans have gone through all this time is bullying. Straight like that. It's bullying. I don't know what else you would call it. What else would you call it? It's bullying. America is a bully culture. Racism is bullying, and they just won't call it what it is. It's bullying. It is a bully culture. Okay. And now it has spread everywhere. But it's bullying. Plain and simple. If you look at Elizabeth, look, what do you call this? But bullying. It's one black kid at the school. And look at all these people. Followed her all the way to the bus stop. There's one white woman stood up and told him to leave her alone. She got on the bus with her. She needs to get more props. They tried to get on the bus too. And then the white woman that stood up for her, they, threw rocks at her house, and her and her husband had to move to Canada because they were bullied so bad they had to leave the United States. You understand? That America has the United States of America, it's a bully culture. It always has been. Black Americans, stop sending your children to school if there's not at least 40% blacks at the school. Don't send your children to no school. It's just a couple of black children there. That's cruelty. That's cruelty. When I was coming up, my parents wanted to send me to better schools when I got to sixth grade. They picked a Lutheran school for me to go in the seventh and eighth grade. I'm a seventh grader at a Lutheran school, but it's about 35-40% black by the time I get there. But I'm a seventh grader. It's a small school that the church paid for. So they got the fifth and sixth graders in one class and the seventh and eighth graders together in another class. So it's only about 18, 19, at most 20 people in my class. And it's seventh and eighth graders, half seventh graders, half eighth graders. I didn't like it. I just left a public school where we have 2 sixth grade classes with over 20 sixth graders in both classes. Now I'm here at this weird situation. And that's the first thing I thought about when I seen a Karmelo situation. Now, there was only 2 black girls in my class. The rest of them was white. And most of the children went there, the black children had been there. So they had already been depressed. They had already been mentally conquered, to be honest with you. Going with all those white children and being such a small minority for all those years, they were already had their tails tucked between their legs. And the way they dressed, the way they talked, you could tell that they didn't live in the black community. Now, when I come to the school, I'm dressed. My mother and father, they young from Alabama, they the Pepsi generation. They listening to Smokey Robinson, the Temptations, the Supremes. My mother's really into fashion. She buying everybody clothes, including my daddy's clothes. He a country punkin, so she dressed Randolph, So when I come to school, the black kids at the school, they got the button-up little shirt and stuff. I got on like purple. You know what I'm saying? I got purple shirt, purple pants, purple shoes, purple socks. I'm wearing red. I'm shopping at Smokey Joe's down in Jewtown, so I'm wearing what the older men is wearing. And so I always say, so I was equal to the day's time. I was like a rapper. This is 1970. So I'm looking like what you would call today a rapper. And I'm going to show you this ties in, so bear with me here. So here I am now with this school. I'm in the seventh grade. The bigger boys is the eighth graders. And it's only one black eighth grader. The rest of them is white dudes. One of them is like a wrestler looking guy, and the other one looked like the greaser from the Fonz. His name was Craig. And there were some other ones, but these was the main two. The one that looked like the greaser and his friend that was the strong dude. Here I come to the school. Now, what does this have to do with Karmelo? Well, I'm coming out of a black community. My parents from Alabama. So when they moved into this housing development when I was 4, we pretty much created everything that we did ourselves. We were doing things our parents, we made up life for black Americans, my generation. We created the first standard for how young blacks that lived in houses, because it was easier to create a standard in a housing than it is in apartments. Apartments, everybody's more tucked away, but where they got houses, it's more of a family structure, it's more of a community structure, because people come out and be sitting on the porches in the front of their houses. When you're in an apartment, it's different. I never seen a bunch of children playing in an apartment complex. But you've seen a bunch of children playing in housing development. So I'm coming out of this housing development. I'm going to this school with these children. And, we have ways we play. We play hide and go seek, where we be trying to kiss on the girls and all that. Because I'm in the seventh grade, so I'm feeling myself a little bit sexually, like puppy love type of stuff. We starting to experiment with kissing. That's about as far as you can go, and maybe get a little feel here and there. So when I come to the school, I want to do the same thing I'm doing in the neighborhood. I want to kiss on the girls, only 2 black girls. I want to kiss on them. I want to feel on them. I'm a little, coming, my hormones is probably popping off. And so when I would be down in the basement of the school, because when it was really bad out, we would just have recess in the basement. And every time I was trying to chase these 2 black girls down, the greaser dude, his sister was in my grade. He was in 8th, she was in 7th, and she used to be there wanting me to kiss her. Well, I ain't really know nothing about that. I grew up all in an all-black neighborhood, so I ain't really know nothing about interracial stuff. And then she didn't look that good. She was little. She had rabbit teeth, like buck teeth with gap rabbit, right? She was nice. I didn't never tease people, so don't get me wrong. I never looked at her like that. So I never looked at her like, oh, you look like that. Just when she tried to approach me, I just wasn't with it. But I know her brother seen that she liked me, that she was infatuated over me. See what I'm saying? So one day we had like a free day because we had a teacher. He was like a hippie. He would do all this art and he would buy all this. We learned how to cut glass. And man, I learned a lot. I learned more there than in the public school because the teacher spent like thousands of dollars on personal products. White dude named Mr. Ellison. He was cool, man. I wonder where he's at. Man, that was a cool dude. So, so a lot of times we would have free days because he believed we could learn more if we got a chance to relax more. So one day we was there, we was playing spin the bottle. We sit on the ground. It's a couple of us dudes and the black girls and a couple of whites and blacks, we just there playing. But it's dominant like black, Now I'm at the school, the blacks kind of fooling themselves. So I'm sitting down and Amy, her brother's, he had his pointy toe shoes on. Like I say, he was a greaser, like the Fonz, like Happy Day. That man put his shoe on my fingers. He just put his He didn't just step on it by mistake. He put it on there and left it. He just stood on my fingers. That's what made me think about Karmelo, all because his sister liked me. You see where I'm going with this? So he made a mistake because I'm from the community, which is now the hood. I'm from a black community. So I Peter rolled up, I'm Muhammad Ali. Like I'm not these blacks, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you've been doing to them. Well, boy, I'm still gambling. Well, I jumped up. No response. He didn't even swing back. He just took a barrage of Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay. He just took it. Bat out. He eighth grade was seventh grader, which made the strong one really hate me. I had to do him with a big old softball to the face, but that was later. He tried it, right? All the blacks got empowered. Once they see me do that, they stopped taking stuff. Nah, I wasn't ever no pushover. I was always all of that. Yeah, I was always all of that. I was never like your daddy. You know what I'm saying? I was nothing like your daddy. I was always that. Yes, I was never like your daddy. You get me mixed up with your daddy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry he was weak like that. It made you weak and you think everybody like y'all, but everybody not like y'all. You know what I'm saying? Everybody not like y'all. I'm sorry that your family was meow like that. That's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? Even still a damn 65 and Esau, you wouldn't play with me like that. You wouldn't play with me like that. But anyway, this is for somebody else, I don't do haters. But anytime you see me out in the world, press the issue. You're going to find out the hard way. You know what I'm saying? This Chicago, boy, I don't know where you live at. I'm born and raised in the city of Chicago. That should tell you everything right there. So, I believe that the problem with these brothers, the problem they most likely had with him is that there were white girls at the school that liked him. I guarantee you. The reason he was targeted is because there was some white girls up there thought he was cute and was smiling and grinning at him. I guarantee you. It was white girls liked him. And it's not like I'm no Superman or nothing. So let me get that straight about me stealing on dude and rolling on him when he stepped on my hand. It goes back to what I'm saying. I had already grew up in the black community. So I had already been fighting other young blacks, my friends on the block when we get to arguing, and a couple of my friends at school. I had came up fighting already in the black community. Not a lot of fights because we had conflict resolution. But I had came up, right? Muhammad Ali was our hero, so we used to slap box for fun. So my generation probably boxed more than any other generation before us or after us because of Muhammad Ali. And we was just the right age. So we used to just box for fun all day, just slapping each other. The whole object is not get slapped and slapped him, but we thought it was fun, right? So I always grew up like that. So I didn't have that fear because I didn't get to school around whites until I was too old to scare me. But the blacks that was there when they're in the second grade, third grade, see, that's too early. Black Americans, stop sending your little children around a bunch of other races where they can't defend themselves. You can send them there, but you got to make sure they strong enough, and you got to look at the percentage. So yeah, if you want to send your kids to a better school, you got to look at the percentage, because even in high school, they might not be able to hang if the percentages, if they don't got no peers, they race, the percentages might be too high for them to survive. They could get hurt. They could come in the locker room and they turn the lights off and beat him up. They don't know who. Now his nose broke, he bleed his lip. He don't know which one did it, because you outnumbered. And so even when I went to Luther South, I went to the high school, like I said, it was still 40%, and I ain't trying to be funny or nothing, but 40% black and 60% white is like we the most, basically. Once they get around 65-35, we like even. Seriously, they don't mess with you. Once you get about 35% blacks, they leave you alone. It's too many of you. It's like even. I ain't trying to insult. I'm just saying. 50-50, we dominate. 40-60, we dominate. We dominate the school. 40%, we dominate the school. That's a fact. You understand? So this problem, I would assume, came from jealousy. The jealousy that girls probably liked him. Girls probably liked him. And if they live in the same town, he could always have his brother be coming up to the school after school and stuff like that. Yeah, I remember they rolled that brother up in the wrestling match. Yep. And so this was a situation where he was getting bullied and he was tired of it. That's why he told him, hit me and see what happened. Which, to me, as a police officer, that means that he's already been having problems with you. For him to distinctly tell you, touch me and see what happened, meaning you've been bothering him. Case closed. He has been bothering that man, that young man. This guy was bothering him all the time. I went to school with punks like this. Rest in peace to them still, though. But I went to school with dudes like this. And when they got the number and you're outnumbered, oh, he want to be the pretty boy. He want the girls. They want to find a victim. And if they find a black victim, a lot of the whites won't defend them. See, if they pick on a white victim, he ain't going to be a victim because other white kids might like that white kid. But it's easy to get the other white kids not to like the black one, or not to want to stand up from the black one. So this was a situation of bullying where the school did not step in, which I've been saying now for years. And he got to the point where it's two ways they're going to go. They're going to start thinking suicide, or they're going to start thinking about self-defense. It's two ways they go. We see children commit suicide all the time from bullying. This one, he wasn't going to commit no suicide. He wasn't going like that. He wasn't going to commit no suicide. He had made his mind up. When I go to school today, if dude play with me today, it's all the way up. I'm tired of this dude playing with me. He felt like he didn't have nowhere else to go. And the school know it. The school seen it. There was white males and white female teachers at that school that seen the bullying. I went to school. And they be seeing it and letting it go. The coach seen it. The gym teacher know about it. I wouldn't be, and some of his teachers, no, they know, they watch it. A lot of time at a white school, they be in on it. They be also mistreating you and pointing you out and trying to make an example out to black children. Because I'm going to be honest, I don't believe white Americans are qualified to teach us. I think they have a problem. I think white Americans have a inferiority complex. That's what I believe. I believe the white man has a God complex and has an inferiority complex that he feels inferior when he's around us. That's what I believe. There's no other reason for you to just hate a person because of the color of their skin. You have an inferiority complex. Period. That's the only reason you act like that. And so I repeat again, they shouldn't have had him going to that school. You see, you blacks, you want to live in better neighborhoods. You got a job in a certain neighborhood. And you want to talk about how nice your neighborhood is, but you got your children in a racist prison. Just because you want to live out here in a nice house and grin and cheese, talking about where you live is a nice neighborhood, rather than build your own nice neighborhood, rather than have law and order in your neighborhood and straighten out your neighborhoods and make your neighborhoods nice, which is another reason whites don't like you moving out there, because if you're running from making your neighborhoods nice, don't come to my neighborhood where we try to keep our neighborhood nice. But you don't want to keep your neighborhood nice, but now you want to run over here. Go where you from, go back where you came from and fix your neighborhood. So I agree with white Americans with that. Like black Americans, you always running from fixing up your own situation. Fix your own situation and stop running out there in them people's business. They don't want you around them. They don't like you. They don't like you. What part of that you don't understand? They never liked you. You was a slave. You was mistreated the whole time you've been here. America was built on hate. Okay? America was built on hate. Okay, that's why I'm not monetized, because I'm not supposed to say this. YouTube gonna say it's racist. Because when you stand up against racism, then they call you the damn racist. This is how backwards the country is. To the point where the president is a bigot, a racist. Everybody knows he's a Nazi. Everybody knows Trump is a Nazi and he reads Hitler books. Everybody know that. But he's just a businessman, so you have to hide it. Everybody know Elon Musk come out of apartheid and he's a Nazi. Because the apartheid was ran by Nazis. Black people don't know that. Elon's father moved to South Africa just because it was racist. So this is not no big surprise. So black people, stop sending your children into that situation. Make sure you send them to a school that got enough black people to back your child up. Stop sending your child there. Because when my parents sent me to a Lutheran school, you should have seen them other black kids. Now, a lot of black kids, when I went to 7th grade, was able to come out of that because I was there. I was the backup. So now you better not touch them or it's going to be some smoke. So a lot of them was like, oh, we can fight back. Yeah, punk, we can fight back. I'm telling you, listen, you see how skinny I am. I'm in the 7th grade fighting big old dudes, right? Not a whole lot, because once I fought a couple of them, they stopped, right? Right? There was black dudes in the 8th grade was bigger than me, but they had already been under this white oppression for so long. You understand? Right? So like GLOF, he's been under white racism so long that he wouldn't be able to even admit it. Why would I talk to him? He's totally brainwashed by his own negative behavior from his own culture. So I wouldn't waste my time talking to him because he's talking about gay, but who's that? Look, let me show you what's phony. You see this man over here talking about gay people are more likely to be. You see what he said? Guess who pushed gay? Back when I was a kid. Back in the 60s, white America was pushing homosexuality. Okay, checkmate. Yeah, be quiet over here. Because this was one of my videos I'm finna do maybe later or tomorrow. He made me have to jump the gun. He made me have to jump the gun. I wasn't gonna talk about that yet. But you know, it's Big Pharaoh over here. I do you dirty. Who pushed all that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, be quiet. Who pushed it? Way back in the 60s. Who's Gay Bob? And the homosexual community, white, is racist. For sure. Okay? Yeah, anyway, man, have a good day. You know, find somebody who want to listen to you. You know what I'm saying? What's your name? Golf? Well, go golf. You know, move that L around and go forward. Yeah, I'm not talking to you. I wouldn't talk to you in real life. Why would I talk to you over here? He ain't nobody. You know what I'm saying? But back to what I was talking about before, I had to straighten out the weirdo, right? I had to get him straight. You know what I'm saying? Because that's another thing. When I went to the white Lutheran school, when I went to high school, the white boys was a little homosexual-like. You know, they were saying words like palsy, and they were rubbing on each other, and they would be running around popping each other naked with towels. You know, I didn't take a shower. The whole time I went to a Lutheran high school. I wait till I got home. After gym, because the white dudes was a little, I don't want to say homosexual, but they wasn't strong like heterosexual. They were like to be around men. They used to like to be around men. I ain't lying. Like I had good friends, but they used to like to be around men. And you know, it was black girls went there and white girls, and they had beautiful ones on both sides. And I used to ask them, why y'all don't talk to y'all girls? You know, they with the buddy stuff, like to rub on each other, giving a man a wedgie and all that. I ain't know nothing about that. You know what I mean? I ain't know nothing about, I wasn't with none of that. But even in high school, I had some of the white girls, they was infatuated with me. One of them named Jackie, she worked at Dunkin' Donuts. She was in my class like a sophomore. She would bring me a box of donuts every morning. She lived over in Beverly Hills over there, but I didn't know nothing about that. And then I was smart. I know I can't go over there in that white neighborhood and go see that girl. You know what I mean? But she was infatuated with me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure that was all over this jealousy. This guy was jealous. He was jealous. That's why he kept bothering the brother like that, because he was jealous, and his parents didn't teach him nothing. His father's mad, but I tell his father, you should have taught your son to be a decent person and not to be a bigot. You know, now you lost your boy. Teach the other one. I'm not happy you lost your son, but it's better him than ours. We gonna ride with ours just like y'all ride with y'all. I ain't on no hate or nothing like that. I'm just saying he defended himself against this man's son. This man didn't teach his son nothing. If your son was a white male at a predominantly white school, he should have taught his son some compassion for the blacks. His son shouldn't have been up there bullying a black guy at a mostly white school like that, out there like that. That was bogus anyway. Totally out of line. You know what I'm saying? That was totally out of line. And like white America, you know what I'm saying? They trying to bully China. Look how it's turning out. Like, when are they going to realize this is not 1950? That's over with. Go sit down somewhere and learn how to work with other people, or you're going to be done. Nobody doing none of that no more. You're nobody. You're just like everybody else. It's not none of that. That's over with. And if I'm driving through a sundown town and you run up on me, the only one the sun gonna go down on is you. You the one never gonna see the sun come back up no more. Up, wrong one. The police can't help you because the police is got too much work to do. I think white America has been so busy being racist that they let their own race fall. I would do lectures with white America. I'm not a racist, but I believe white Americans need to focus. I think racism is going to be the destruction of them. They ain't going to be able to make it in the world. White people, you don't run the world. And we live in a global world right now. Face it. You're just another person like everybody else. There's 1 billion white people on the planet, and there's 1 billion blacks in Africa alone. So it's like this whole racist trying to be superior, don't know what you're doing. You got to sit down and let somebody else have some input on the planet. All of these cases, I believe, got something to do with racism. Now, I'm not absolutely sure about the twins because this could have been organ harvesting. We're going to get to that in a minute. But I know him taking pictures and it's going all floating around that little city that only got 1,000 people. I know he seems to be a bigot or a racist. Because I don't know why you would want to take a picture of 2 young black boys unalive and send it all around your little town. I don't know what would make you do that other than it's a sundown town. Because we're going to get to them later with what's going on with that case. But with this case right here, surely this is a default of the administration that left that boy there to deal with bullying by itself that all these schools is doing. These schools ain't doing no good job with bullying, even when it's not racial. Because what happens is when you got a school, let's say you got some black dude go to a white school and they start bullying. And let's say he leave the school. They still got a bully culture. So now they're going to find a weak white person and bully on them. See, a bully going to bully anybody. They ain't going to just, they just go for racism because they looking for a soft target. They always looking for somebody to bully that the rest of the people won't defend. But they bully their own constantly. Bullying is like a culture in America. It really is. And if they don't do something about it, they're going to have more school shootings. Because this got a lot to do with the school shootings. These be people that be bullied and they get fed up. This is what be going on with the school shooters. They don't want to tell the truth. The school shootings, they be fed up. They be totally fed up with the bullying. Totally. And nobody want to do nothing about it. Yeah, racism is strong in the South. That's why I never go live in Atlanta or nothing like that, because I'm fine in Atlanta, but I'm not fine in the state. You know, you ain't fine in the state. Once you leave the black city and you in the state and you get pulled over out there on the road, you might not never be seen again. Because anytime the law enforcement got races in it, and now a sheriff or somebody could pull me over, highway patrol could pull me over, he's a racist, he got the gun, I'm done. I've got no way to survive. Because this guy is the sheriff, but he's not the deputy. That's what Bob meant. I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot the deputy, meaning he was a sheriff, but he wasn't honoring his oath as a police officer. He wasn't acting like he was deputized. He was a rogue. That's what that song means. I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot the deputy, meaning he was just a sheriff, but he wasn't upholding his oath. So he wasn't upholding being deputized. He's just a sheriff. He said, Sheriff John Brown always hated me. For what? I don't know. Every time I plant the seed, he said, kill it before it grows. And this is what we have to deal with. That's why people like Chicago, I'm not leaving where I got black mayors and black police officers and a bunch of black citizens to live in no bumfuck Egypt in the backwoods surrounded by racists. Stop asking me. There ain't no way. It's not going to happen. Because even the state of Illinois don't play with us. And I'm comfortable with that. I don't want to live around no racism. I like Chicago. Chicago, we don't have racism. We don't. We don't have no on the top racism like that. You can go to get restaurants and everything. They not finna do none of that. They not finna do none of that. They not finna play with your food. They not finna give you no bad service. They not finna do none of that because if they're out of business, they'll be out of business immediately. In a big city like this, with social media, somebody go, man, I went to so-and-so restaurant, you out of business. Look up the case in the Allison case. I sure will. In 2023, approximately 1 in 3 high school students, 1 in 3, said they had experienced racism in school. 1 out of 3, out of 130 of them. They said 31.5%, so like 31.5% of them experienced bullies. Reported experience of racism was most prevalent among Asians. So they experienced racism, 31%. The most prevalent among Asians, multiracial, and Black African American at 45%. So all of them is near 50%. The Asian was a little high. Students, and least prevalent among white students, way down to 17%. That's because the whites is the one doing all the bullying. So yeah, it's down for them. Yeah, it's down. You know, and I don't know why they don't do something about their culture. They trying to push something that ain't gonna never work. Whatever they trying to push is never gonna work. I don't know when they're gonna give it up and just really focus on something else, because that white supremacy is never gonna work. It's never ever gonna work. Never, ever. China's showing them that. You know how much money, you know how bad things gonna get? America can't build enough to replace what China's doing. They can't build that stuff that quick. Y'all think America replace all them factories and stuff that quick? You know how much business America gonna lose? Everybody gonna sell to China and be like, we don't want to sell it. We don't need to sell to you no more. The world will start selling amongst themselves. White America's still trying to act like it's the 1800s. That's over with. Your day in the sun is over. That's done. You're never going back to that. That's over with. The Africans ain't gonna go for it. Black people ain't gonna go for it. Asians, nobody's going for that no more. You just another person now. And everybody willing to go to war with you if that's what you want to do. If you want to keep losing wars and keep running like you ran out of Vietnam and keep running like you left all them equipment over there in Afghanistan and over there, left them people all that equipment. So if you want to keep getting in wars, but eventually you're going to get in a war and run and they're going to chase you, they ain't going to let you get away. Change your evil ways. That's what I would tell white Americans and white people around the world. Like that, y'all got to become in harmony with the rest of the world. That includes the animals and plants too. You're destroying everything. You don't like the animals. You mess up their habitat. You ruin the water. You let that fool Elon got satellites up there. Too many satellites going to ruin the environment. You understand? I mean, anytime you black, you know, stay around your black people and fix your own neighborhood. Stop trying to run around somebody else. And stay around your own black people and look out for your children. I ain't never gonna send my children nowhere. Yeah, I seen it. I ain't never put my children in no situation that it was something that was unbearable for them. By the time my daughter went away to a PWC, she was old enough to defend herself, and she could always call her daddy, and her daddy would go up there and straighten it out. Because I'm showing up with terror. I ain't showing up with violence, but I'm showing up with the type of energy where you don't want me to come back up there. You definitely gonna stop the situation. And it ain't beneath me to sue you quick. So I'll sue a university real quick. Because if my daughter or somebody tell me it's bullying, I'm gonna arm them with a secret tape recorder. We're gonna record the whole shit. And we're gonna take a lot of money from you. We're gonna get paid off of it. Yeah, it's gonna be a payday. Once you get that recording, she ain't coming back to school. Now you the sucker. We're going right to a lawyer. Kyle Crump. Bam. Get him. We're going to sue you. Yeah, we're going to hit you where it hurt. We're going to sue you. People going to get fired. People going to lose jobs. And we're going to disgrace you all over across the country. You're going to be known as a racist school. Do I think he's going to jail? I don't know where he's going. It's court. I don't know where he's going. Depending on who his judge is. You know what I'm saying, Judge Rock? I can't. When you go to court, you're sitting there waiting for them to say guilty or not guilty. It's towing costs. You know what I'm saying? So I can't make that type of. And I haven't heard the evidence. If there's enough evidence of egregious behavior from the young white male, yeah, he's going to beat it. If there's any evidence that this man was going too far and that complaints had been made and the school didn't do nothing about it, and if anybody else come with any complaints that this young man has been harassing other people, if any information comes about racism from his father or his family, he's going to lose. Depending on who the judge is. A lot of times we go to the judge, we're going from a bunch of races to another races. You go into a full racist court because you out there with them people instead of build your own. When are black people going to realize build your own? Build your own. Stop running behind people that don't like you. Build your own. Do for yourself. Do for self. Have some pride. Stop running behind people that don't like you. Stop spending your money with people that don't like you. You go in there and spend all this money with those Koreans, they don't even be nice to you or nothing. They just take your money. They be cold as ice. They be cold as ice. And then they be speaking in their language so you can't know what they're saying. I had to tell one of them, hey, don't talk that shit when I'm in here. Wait till I leave. Don't talk that shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, nah, I'm not playing with you. Don't talk none of that when I'm not in here. You don't want me to come in here with none of the guys talking about we're going to hit them for the rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Smithmacker, Sminacker. You know what I'm saying? You don't want me to come over there talking woo, 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 and run a play on you, so don't do it on me because we come in here and talk some calls too. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming there and say, okay, hit the stain. You know what I'm saying? Hit the lick. You don't know what I'm talking about either. So stop playing with me. Stop playing with me trying to disrespect me out here. Because I believe everything go. That's what I believe. That's how I lived all these years. I lived in Hawaii. I lived everywhere. I was in Hawaii. It was racist, Japanese and stuff out there. And we had confrontations. And it either going to get down or get clown. You stand on it then. If you ain't going to stand on it, get out of my face. I wasn't tolerating no racism nowhere. One time I was in Cali in LA and I went out to the suburbs where they have this orange machine. They put the oranges and make fresh orange juice. I don't know what we was doing out there, me and my queen. So when I'm backing up to park the car, I see a police car go by. He slow down, look at me while I'm parking. I park, I go in the store, I must be in the store 30, 40 minutes. I come out, I get in my car. As soon as I pull out, he pulled behind me and pulled me over. This type of stuff where you're supposed to be fired. Okay, he's supposed to be fired. I'm supposed to be able to make a complaint. This man watched me walk in the store and waited out here and pulled me over as soon as I came to my car. He's supposed to get fired. And then he was telling me to calm down because I kept telling him that he was a B word and all that for watching me go in the store and following behind me. It was a white dude and a Japanese dude. And I told a little Asian dude, he called you all kind of names every time he go to work. So you a sucker. Yeah, I split them. He was a white dude. I know the psychology. I told the Asian dude, you think he like you? He call you all type of stuff when he get away from you. He don't like you either. He said, okay, sir, you have a good day. I was like, shut up talking to me, give me my license. Shut up talking to me and give me my license. Write the ticket or get lost. You know what I'm saying? And stop playing with me. Because you ain't nothing with but a punk anyway with that gun. You ain't even about that. That gun don't mean nothing to people that be having guns. Gun only means something somebody don't be having guns. That gun don't mean nothing to me. You ain't the only one. Anybody could get a gun, dude. And you riding around with a light on your car and you a sitting target. They need to retrain these police too, because they got these police. The police, people supposed to respect the police. If you let the police be assholes, we're going to have lawlessness because ain't nobody going to respect the police. So now you're stuck between some asshole police and some criminals. How you going to have a country like that? Racist police on this side, criminals on that side. So there's no professional, nobody man in the store. Because most times a racist cop is a horrible cop. He just got the job based on race. A white America is DEI, which will trip me out. White America was set up on DEI, getting positions just because you white. White people been having positions they ain't qualified for forever. Forever. Look at the Trump administration. None of them got no credit. The one lady thought AI was A1 sauce. She called it A1 and she the head of education. I said, nobody he got is qualified. The damn military guys was talking and it could have leaked, saying government stuff on the device where everybody could hear it. Trump ain't no president. He ain't even know. He didn't win every business he started failed. How's he gonna run a business like America? It's gonna flop. What happened to his airlines? Fail. Everything he do, it failed. He just get more money because he white. If he wasn't white, he'd been homeless and dead. He'd have been homeless and died in the street of bum. That man is all a front. Trump is a straight idiot. Can't do nothing. He just sold an image. The Apprentice, that's how he got us to be the president. But the people at The Apprentice say he was nasty, he was dirty, his office was so dirty, they had to build him an office. They said he wasn't nothing like they made him look on The Apprentice. They say he's a two-time loser. The Apprentice people say he's not that. They said when we decided to do the show with him, we seen he wasn't no tycoon. They said his office, the carpet was filthy. They had to build him a TV office. They wanted to shoot it in his real office. They could be cowards, they don't get the training, but they can't be no racists. They got to uphold the position. And if they don't uphold the position, they undermine the law. And see, what the police don't understand is, and I try to talk to people about this all the time, the citizens have to allow you to be the police. The police are powerless. The police only got power because we want them to police, because we want to make sure our homes don't get broken and stuff like that. If the police lose the respect of the people, they done. Right? So if the police, right, don't have no respect, then they done. You know what I'm saying? Because the people allow you to police, right? And I don't think they teaching that to the police. He says, sorry, bro. What you sorry for? You know, sorry is all that you can say. Like even starting out like the sorry, bro, you know, you gotta talk to me on some G shit. Don't be talking about sorry, but I believe something else. Hey man, stick it up you know what. I don't care nothing about what you talking about. Don't feel sorry for me, feel sorry for you that you sorry. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, bro, but it's gonna be the way I'm saying it. Listen, bro, shut up over here, okay? This the no sorry zone, right? No sorry niggas over here, okay? Go take your sorry ass somewhere and sit the fuck down somewhere. The fuck out of here. Yeah, that's the gospel of today in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, nigga. The fuck out of here. You sorry. Yeah, you sorry. Sorry is and sorry does. Yeah, they shouldn't have had no sorry ass children. Your family shouldn't have had no sorry ass nigga as a baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, bro. What? Put your man pants on. You know, take them panties off and go get you some draws. I'm saying? Oh, sorry, bro. I fear all this old weirdo shit, bro. I'm the realest nigga alive. When you come over here, you gotta keep it a Billy Willie over here. You gotta keep it a Billy over here. You can't come with none of that weirdo shit, bro. I don't do weirdos. So that's what's going on with that. That's part one. So I believe it was jealousy. I believe it was about jealousy, and he couldn't take it no more. He had a nervous breakdown. See, look at him. He had a nervous breakdown. They was tired of this boy punker. You can see this boy thinking something. You know, he was bullying and stuff. You can see. You can see the type. These are the kind of guys right here that be on the football team and stuff. They be trying to be the big guy, letterman and stuff, and then they don't make it in sports. And then they get on the police department. And when they get on the police department and they pull over a black man, they go all the way back to high school with the girls like the black guy. This is what be going on. These racist police be bringing their hate from high school. That's where it be coming from. Because they taught that. They wasn't here. See, racism was taught. You had certain whites that was making money off of slavery. So they taught the other whites to be racist. They taught them that. They programmed them. You know, I used to have lynchings, have 1,000 people out there sometime to watch the lynching, right? That's why this dude sent the picture to everybody. Who gonna send a picture of some dead bodies all to the schools and everywhere? It was all circulating at the schools and everywhere, right? Because they turned that into a culture. They turned it into a culture of hate. And now that culture of hate has come back and biting them because when we not there, they shoot up the schools. They shoot up each other. It's gonna backfire. If you buy your sons and you buy guns and you teach your sons to hate black people, you teach them to shoot guns in case they got to shoot black people. You always got these guns, and y'all talking KKK, Nazi stuff. And y'all talking about unaliving another race. So you got all these guns laying around. You done pump this in your son's head. But when your son go to school, it's another white man bullying him. It's white kids laughing at him. He ain't the cool one. Even though he the racist, he not cool. They got cool racists. What your son gonna do? All that hate you put in him about shooting people, he gonna go home. She gonna go home. They gonna get all them guns you've been talking about shooting us with, and they gonna go shoot all the white kids at the school. Because you didn't taught them hate blacks, but when it ain't no blacks around, you still full of hate. That's why hate ain't no good. It's the same thing in the black community. These guys be gangbanging. This guy in this gang hate this guy in this gang. They want to shoot each other and stuff. When the gang's not around, they'll shoot anybody. Now they doing robberies and shooting innocent people. Why? Because when you put violence and hate into your mind, you're going to use it anytime you get upset. You ain't going to necessarily use it for whoever you created this nut philosophy for. You're not going to necessarily use it. I'm not into violence. I'm into self-defense, but I'm not into just going out here bothering people like that because they from India or you white or something like that. That's corny. That's corny for me to see a white man and look at him crazy because he white. Man, leave that man alone. That man a man, that man a man. You know, what the hell? So white people that's racist is cornballs anyway. Like Flintstones or something. Like they need to be back in the cave, rubbing two sticks together trying to get fired because they primitive. Like who do that? It's 2025. Racism is cornball shit. You've been trying to be dominant all this time, and your dominance, it ain't even working so good. Your dominance is like that truck Elon Musk made that he not even taking them back, and nobody can't sell them or nothing, and they ain't making them more because it's a big old piece of junk. That's his superior. He's superior. He want to be superior. He's a little weirdo with his big old knot in his chest. That's why he wears coat so you can't see. And he trying to be a punk like Elon. This is what racism no good. A punk like Elon. Anybody can see Elon is a punk. He gonna do a Hail Hitler thing and can't bust a grape. Stunting. Elon cannot fight, can't shoot, can't do nothing. He fronting, trying to play this Nazi type character. Him and Trump. Trump is a pussy. Been one. His daddy and them made sure the kids stopped bullying little Donnie. His daddy, he got stuck. All he had was Donnie, so he had to work with what he had. But Trump ain't that. Trump not no tough nothing. Trump is a pussy. Been one. He's just a great actor. Trump ain't none of that. He gonna fold every time. Look how he folding with China. He gonna fold. He gonna fold. He an actor. He not none of that. He not none of that. He not. He not like a young Biden or McCain. They was really with the shit. They grew up in the white hood. You know what I'm saying? They grew up when the whites had rough areas too. That's when they grew up, when you had to, in them little Italian neighborhoods and stuff, you had to be about it. When Al Capone and all that, and that generation of them was coming up, they didn't have no really nice, they took a while before they got like that. They was immigrants living in rough areas. So that's the thing with that. Now with these two, the Lewis twins. Now this story, I don't know where this story going, but I do know racism is behind it. For them to be black out there around all them white people and something happened to them, race has still got something to do with it. But a lot of questions haven't been answered. They found their car way out somewhere in a place that closed at sundown. The town only got, the town where they was at, where that mountain is at, that town only got 1,002 people. 0.4 black people live out there. So that tell you right there, black people ain't welcome out there. So nobody really knows how they got out there. Nobody knows. They were supposed to be going to a plane to go on a trip, and they didn't show up, and they found them out there. Now their car was out there, and this is how you know it's foul play, because in their car was their phones, their wallets with the tickets in it. Ain't no young people getting out their car without their wallet and their phone. They not going nowhere without their phone. So this show you that they most likely wasn't driving that car. or something happened to them in that car. They was lured or something. 19 years old, about to turn 20. They might have been lured or something. But this is definitely a setup. There ain't no way they trying to say it's a murder suicide. Come on, man. They trying to say one of them shot the other one in and shot himself. Man, ain't no way. Ain't no way. If they wanted to shoot if we wanted to shoot each other, they would did it right there where they live at. You know what I'm saying? Why you gotta drive way out there? 90 miles away. That's an hour and a half drive. Why you gotta drive an hour and a half shoot each other? Shoot. Come on, man. They were lured out there some kind of way. They was young. And they was dealing with somebody. And somebody talked them to go out there. You ain't gonna get the truth because that whole town is gonna back up each other. They're gonna make sure that town look good. Whoever did it is one of their neighbors. I already showed you that somebody lived up there, took a picture of the bodies and sent it to as many people as he wanted. That show you right there that that's still that hanging mentality, sundown town mentality, because they used to invite each other like a picnic to come see a hanging. It was an event for them. The children, everybody, come see a hanging. They celebrated. They'd be out there all day. You understand? So I don't know what. I don't want to jump no conclusions. But for both of them to go way out there, I don't believe they went out there. I believe they was driven out there. That's why they wallets. They didn't have their wallets on their phones on them. They was tied up somewhere, probably in the trunk of that car. They was probably in the trunk. I believe they got grabbed somewhere else. It ain't no way they drove way out there and got unalive. And mail pictures of the lynching on postcards. I believe they got caught up somewhere in town. It could have been organized, or it could be the same thing, talking to them white girls. Talking to them white girls. Talking to them white girls will get you killed. And these young bros think it's just a girl. It's not just a girl. I know I've been with white women in Hawaii that say their daddy was racist, their granddad was racist, they never been around no black people before, how their parents would disown them if they knew they was hanging out with us, all of that. All that. When I was in Hawaii, I met white women that have never seen a black person up in person. Real talk. Have never seen a black man in real life. They live in like white places and they never seen a black person ever. I'm telling you. The one lady, she said, "Can I touch you?" I swear to God. I didn't find nothing wrong with it because I understand what she was saying. She seen that brown skin. It's like, "Can I touch it?" And the hair, she said, "Can I touch it?" It was like she was like she was like, it was like a scientific experiment. Like, really, honestly, she was really intrigued. Seriously, had never been close to a black person, talked to a black person, or touched a black person. So that's why, like, I lived in Hawaii. A lot of them white women that been hearing all that racism and stuff, as soon as they get a certain age and they fly out there, the first thing they want to do is have sex with a black man. That's the first thing they want to do. Because you done told them, don't. And now she's 24, 25, 28. You know what I'm saying? And when she get out there and she see us, she ready to do whatever. She want that experience. And a lot of times when they go back, they hate their relative. Because a lot of times what would happen is we be sitting around. These white women came from Idaho or somewhere. And we sitting around and we regular. We just regular people. So we telling jokes and we just do what we doing. So they laugh, they tell jokes, they're like, oh, these is people. Yeah, we people, bitch. You think we is, right? So when they be around you and they see that you telling jokes and you eat food like they eat food and you just like them, you just black and just live somewhere different, they feel betrayed. They like, my daddy lied to me. I know this white dude, he hate his grandfather, he hate his daddy. You know what I'm saying? They hate him because they say, you lied to me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they'd be like, wow. Because you gotta understand, when you tell somebody something like that from when they little, how they know is how they know. You got a different color. So if you tell me that, if I came up and I was black and I never was around no white people, and my parents told me that white people was all this bad stuff, I would believe it. They're a different color. But black parents didn't do that. My parents didn't talk about nobody. My parents didn't have discussions about people. None. We didn't talk about race and shit. My parents didn't talk about that weirdo stuff. My parents didn't talk about none of that. The black community ain't racist like that. There's no racism in the black community. Ain't no young black people running around hating white people because ain't no white people around. In the black community, we only concentrate what's around. We ain't concentrating on somebody you ain't even here. In the black community, you have to do something for us to hate you. We can't hate you and you ain't did nothing. So in the black community, we don't hate nobody. The first time we start disliking people when they come in the community, like Arabs, if they come in the community, they got the gas station, they be rude. Then we start saying these Arabs ain't this. But then if some other Arabs get a store and they cool, then we be like, okay, that's just dude. You know what I'm saying? We don't be saying that's Arabs. Once we see these are some assholes and these ones is cool, then we judge everybody individually. That's how we do in the hood. We got Arabs in the hood. We fuck with them because they be cool. You can go in there with no money and they give you $20 worth of gas. You say, man, I'll pay you when I get Friday. Like, okay, my friend, okay, go 20. Pay me Friday. You see what I'm saying? Because in the hood, we got Arabs in the gangs. We got Blackstone. We got BD Arabs. We got for real. Because what happened, they work with us so much, they start to like us. First, they come in there, they just be there to take money. But after being there and seeing us every day, they down there become family. Because you know how black folks is. What up, Habib? You know, they come in there. My nigga, what's up, man? What you been on, Habib? Oh, I've been doing good, Pharaoh, you know, like that. And after a while, they'd be like, man, listen, we had the wrong idea about black people. Black people cool as they want to be. We don't do racism. I never seen no racism in the black community. Never in my life. Even when I went to school with certain whites didn't like me, I didn't take that out on the other whites. I just beat up the ones that insisted. I mean, I had to beat that many people up. Let me say, there was a possibility they got beat up. That's why they chilled out. That was on the table. You know what I'm saying? That was on the table. If you just, if you a hater, then we're going to see you later. You know what I'm saying? So that was always on the table. But we never had to exercise that too much because once that's on the table, a lot of people don't want to pick that sandwich up and bite it. No, nobody want to bite that sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Because we was about, we didn't do guns back in the 70s. We took care of business, What you want to do? Box a boogaloo. Jump to my chest. My fists will do the rest. I still remember what we used to say as little boys. And so when I came up, you had to fight, win, lose, or draw. When I came up, you had to fight. We didn't have no losers. The only we didn't know nobody. We ain't had no losers. Most fight we never agreed who won. But I hit you in your nose though. Yeah, but I hit you in your lips. So sometimes we can't figure out who won. Like out of 10 fights, somebody might win 2 of them, but the other 8, I don't know. Maybe if he made you bleed, we might say he won. But they usually be. That's why we didn't fight that much. We didn't used to fight that much because, you get tired of, you beat him up, but he beat you up too. So, we ain't do this no more, and you tired. But yeah, right. So, that's why the little kids should fight. If you let the little kids fight, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, they won't fight by the time they get into 6th grade in high school. They won't fight no more. They'll learn conflict resolution because they ain't going to do that much damage when they little like that. They're going to get tired and they're going to see fighting ain't cool. I'm tired and I could have lost. Because if you really be in a fight, you're going to realize you could have lost. Every fight you won, you could have lost. It just half an inch of that one swing would have connected, you would have turned the whole fight around. You know what I'm saying? So you'd be like, nah, I'm in the 6th. We're in the 8th grade. We try to talk to girls. We ain't trying to fight. When I went to high school, there was no fights. You know what I'm saying? But this situation, I feel sorry for the parents of these young brothers. You know what I'm saying? This the fool that took the picture and shared it all on social media right here. He crazy. But, I feel sorry for the parents of these young men. Their death is a mystery. Dealing with the law enforcement and stuff all around there. If the people that's investigating it, if their people was in on it, you ain't going to get the truth. And it's just a sad situation. I don't know how they was moving. We haven't got the details of were they living with the adults? Did they have their own apartment? Nobody knows when was the last time they was seen. Nobody's mentioning when the last time they was seen. And I don't know if that's because of the investigation, but it's hard for us to say anything like when the last time did the family seen them. And I'm going to tell you, it could have been 3 or 4 days because when you 19, you moving grown. When you 19, don't nobody know where you at. Unless you tell them, yeah, we finna go out of town or something. But when you 19, you just out there in the world. Your mommy don't know where you at. Your daddy don't know where you at. They for the typical young person, your parents start losing track of you soon as you get your license. By maybe your sophomore year, they lose track. Because if I'm driving my car and I say, Mom, I'm finna go over to Chucky house. And I go over to Chucky house. And then Jock come over there and we be like, man, let's go over to so-and-so house. We ain't got no cell phones, nothing. So my mama don't know where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? All she know I went to Chucky house. But when I've been, since then, we done been to David house. We done been to Doug crib. We done been to Mike's crib. We done been all over around the world. And now, I can't find my baby. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I'll come home, my mama say, where you been? I'll be like, Mama, I can't list all that. I can't list. Don't nobody know. We waiting on the details. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody know when it happened. I believe it happened early in the day because their car was locked in a place that closed at sundown. So that means that car got there in the daytime. And then they locked the car down, so they was dead by then. So they definitely got there in the daytime because they couldn't have came at night because the parking lot they was in would be locked. So that means the car had to arrive between opening and closing. And it closed at sundown because it's a sundown town. Of course it do. In those type of towns, you don't want to be out at night. They don't do night. Everybody go in. And so that's the only clue we got, that their car was locked in there, but it definitely was not no murder-suicide because their phones was left in there and their wallets in their car. That show you they was abducted. And how their car get way out there. So it looked like a couple people was involved, and somebody drove their car and somebody followed them in another car. That's what it looked like. It looked like they ran into some people. To me, I would imagine it's two vehicles. Two vehicles. You cannot, one person would not necessarily been able to get them up to go up no mountain and stuff like that. If it's me and my brother and it's just you and you got a gun, I don't even know how you're going to get us tied up because we're not tying ourselves up. You're going to have to shoot. You know what I'm saying? So somebody drugged them. They could have went in one of them stores. They could have went in a place to get something to eat. Somebody could have put something in their drink. Right? There's a lot of unanswered questions. And this is why I be telling people this happened in Georgia. So I'm like, yeah, Atlanta cool, but Georgia not cool. Yeah, Houston cool, but Texas not cool. You know, when you get out outside of the big cities, man, you in Ku Klux Klan territory, Nazi territory. Once you leave the city where all the blacks live at, you just out there. You know what I'm saying? You just out there. So, you know, all that talent, their birthday was coming up in like 3-4 weeks. They was going to be 20. They was going to turn 20. They was twins. But ain't no way they went out there and one shot the other one and killed himself. Come on, man. That did not happen. Not with no twins. Twins ain't finna do none of that. Twins is connected in the soul. I'm telling you. Ain't no twins, ain't no 19-year-old twins gonna do that. They say they didn't even fight or nothing. He's saying, Georgia, as soon as you leave the city, you see the Confederate flag. They let you know right off the top where you at. They'll let you know right off the top where you at. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of times it's best to fly over all that driving, unless you know where you're driving. Could be. I wrote a movie. I got a movie idea from driving across the country. We was driving to Seattle and we came up with a movie idea just based on that. Sure did. So you driving out there. So that's why when I would drive in the daytime. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be driving out there at night too much, but when I did, we made sure we didn't get next to no other cars. And the good thing about driving night, they can't see who in the car. So keep the lights and stuff off so they can't see who in there. You just some people in the car, they don't need to know you black. So that was the good thing about driving at night. But you got to go to the popular rest stops. You can't just go to them. You keep your car full of gas and you go to them exits that's got a bunch of signs. Don't go to that exit got gas station and a McDonald's. Don't go to that one. Go to the one gas station, McDonald's, Burger King, Starbucks. Go to the one got a lot of signs. That's the safe one. When you pull off on the highway, don't go to them little rinky-dink ones, and don't go to the ones where you pull off the highway and you got to drive all the way a quarter mile over there to the gas station. Go to the ones where as soon as you pull off the gas station, right there. If it say gas station next exit, I pull off and I don't see it, I get right back on. One time I had the rap group, we was traveling doing like a tour. We went to a gas station. I kept telling the fat one, hurry up, hurry up. He'd want to be in the store like he at the mall. Man, get the gas, get your snacks, and get in the car. Let's get the hell out of here, right? He used to get on my nerve like, bruh, do you know where we at? And one time, I rushed him, and when I'm getting on, I seen the police getting off. I said, they called him, told him we was up there. If that police would have got there, we could have never been seen again. One time we stopped in, what's that next to Seattle? Idaho? Next to Washington. We stopped at Idaho. And we went in a place. I went to get some gas, and the white lady said, "One time I killed a bear." That's what she said when I walked up to the. That's what she said to me. She said, "One time I shot a bear or killed a bear." Straight up. I was like, "What'd she say that shit for?" You know what I'm saying? What she say that for? So instead of filling up, I get like a quarter tank, a half tank, and I'm out. We go to another more popular area. You know what I'm saying? Who was the person that came up with it? The Green Book. Um, I don't know. Let me see if his name is on it. Let's see. Yeah, this is what black people used to have to read. Victor H. Green. Victor H. Green came out with it. These are two different covers it had. This one came out in 1947. This one came out in 1940, established in 1936. This edition came out in 1940 on your right. Then the new one came out in 1947. This is what my parents used to have to take with them to let you know. This is the Negro motorist book to let the Negro know where you can go to get gas, what hotels. My parents always stayed at Holiday Inn. Always, 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 always. And every time we would get to Holiday Inn, there would be black families there. Now it all makes sense. That's where all the black families was. So we used to have fun at the Holiday Inn because when we go to Holiday Inn, there'd be some black children there with their family, and our parents let us go run up and down the halls. Yeah. And you had to be from out there by 4 o'clock, 4:30. We would leave for Alabama at like 4 in the morning. We would never drive at night. My daddy would leave when the sun's about to come up. He wanted to leave early because he didn't want none of the neighbors to know we not home. So we leave right before daybreak. So by the time we get on the highway around Chicago and get so far, it's daybreak. And we drive all during the day. And the mission was to get to Tennessee or Kentucky. We would always stay either in Nashville, Tennessee, or Louisville, Kentucky to get to one of them Holiday Inns by about 4 or 5 o'clock and get the heck off the road. And then in the next morning, get up and go to Alabama and get there in the day. We would get to Alabama early. It would still be daylight. I think the majority of the trip was to Louisville and not Nashville, Louisville and yeah, I think Nashville. They real close to each other, if I'm not mistaken. So you could stay at either one of them because by the time you get to Louisville, Kentucky, you almost, by the time you get to Louisville, you almost out the state. And same thing for I think Nashville. Both of them is like on the edge of the state. So it's just not that much difference, like 45 minutes or an hour difference or something like that. Let me look and see. Miles from Nashville to Louisville. It was like 2 hours. Like a 2 hour difference. I think we would always stay at I think we'd always stay at Louisville on the way down and Nashville on the way back. Something like that. But this is yeah, my dad and them didn't play. And I grew up during them times like that. So that's why so many black people went to Detroit and Chicago. Because they didn't have to deal with that type of racism. In Chicago, unless you went to Marquette Park where Martin Luther King got hit with them bricks and stuff, unless you was over there or something like that, you didn't have to deal with it. Now, when I was in high school, I used to go to Marquette Park. My daddy told me, you need to stop going over there. I had a friend lived over. This is how you get hurt. I had a friend, his name was Tom Klug. I wonder where Tom at. And I used to go hang out at Tom's house. We became friends because an older black dude was bullying him. See what I'm saying? And I told dude, leave him alone. Because I don't like bullies. So we was in class, and a guy we may be like sophomores, and this guy like a junior. And I see him bullying the white dude. I ain't like it. I told him, leave him alone. I didn't like it for two reasons, because he was an older classmate. And if I sit there, what I learned in the streets is, if you sit there and you watch him bully him, he think you a punk too. He gonna do you. Facts, y'all. If you sitting there allowing somebody to be a bully on somebody else, they gonna take it that you scared too. They gonna bully you first chance they get. So as soon as I seen him bullying dude, I jumped up like, leave him alone. I was ready for the smoke. He wasn't ready for no smoke. Me and Tom, we became real cool. The story is this though. One day Tom said, let's go over my friend's house. So when we drive over there, he knock on the door. The white dude come to the door. He open the door. He see me. He say, Tom, we don't let no niggers in here. Real shit. I swear to God. Which means I got lucky, because if it was a bunch of white dudes in there, they could have not said nothing and let me in there. And then I never came out. Now I always think, if they got me in there and unalived me, would a Tom had said nothing, or would he have been forced not to say nothing? Because they know where his mom and daddy live and all that. So he'll have to watch a murder and not say nothing. I always think about that he would have been totally in a bad situation if they would have unalived me. What he gonna do? And he can't say nothing because he gotta live out there. Real talk. This is just how easy that kind of stuff can happen. Like to them twins, all they had to do was go to see somebody that was cool and a bunch of people there that wasn't cool. That's all they had to do. All they had to do to go to this white dude house is cool, but there's some other white dudes that ain't cool, and they leave and they set up the ambush for when you leave. That's all he had to do. And they out there with them, and they definitely got white friends. They definitely got white friends out there. That's all they had to do was go to the wrong white friend's house or to the wrong white girl's house. And some white dudes see them there. It's over with. It's over with. A lot of black men have got hurt messing with white women. It takes you out your element. You know, you off your square. You know what I'm saying? You got to really be a gorilla or a lion to do that. You can't do that if you ain't with the smoke. You can't be out there playing like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of possibilities, but I know it's sad. Rest in peace to them. You know what I'm saying? I know it's sad. I know if y'all live in them type of cities and y'all ain't in a big, strong black city, keep your head on the swivel. Go get your gun license and make sure you get your concealed carry if they got carry. And keep your, when you're in your car, keep your gun in the console in the head. And keep your paperwork in the glove compartment. Don't put your gun in the same place as where your paper, because when you open it, he's going to say, gun, 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 and then they just going to shoot. Don't have your gun on the floor. That's open carry, illegal. Don't have your gun in your lap. That's open carry. Your gun got to be closed off. Now, if you think you're in a bad neighborhood, you can put it in a center thing and keep it open. If the police get behind you to pull you over, you just close it. Now it's concealed. But you got to know your gun laws, and you got to have a gun to defend yourself because you got criminals out here, you got racists out here, you got haters, you got all type of people. You got people crazy. And if a crazy person go off and run up at you with a knife, you know what you're going to do. You got to stop them. So you have to be able to defend yourself in 2025, 2026, 2027. You think white women can be more deadly? I mean, not really either one of them. Because a white woman can invite you over there and not knowing that the white man going to do something to you. Typically, when white women deal with you, they be typically innocent. So it's never 100% innocent, but I would say out of 100%, for a white woman to want to drug you or something like that, I'd say out of 100%, I'd say maybe 15% might want to do that. But you definitely, the white males are more aggressive than the white females. The white females ain't really on nothing like that. Typically, a white female that don't like black people, she ain't gonna hang with you anyway. You ain't gonna never get around her anyway. So you ain't gotta worry about her. She never gonna be nowhere where you could talk to her. She gonna be at a white bar with white dudes, and you ain't gonna never get to talk to her. If you do try to talk to her, you're gonna see she a Karen. She might call the police just for you try to talk to her. So typically, the women that don't like you, they just don't like you. They don't play no games. But with these young men, they could have made a mistake. They could have drank something that knocked them out. They could have did something. They young, you know what I'm saying? And when you young, you know, even now in 2025, you don't be drinking. You don't drink. Don't drink. Don't let nobody just pull you no drink. You don't know what's in that. You know what I'm saying? And ladies, when somebody pull you a drink, don't you sit that drink down. They got that fingernail polish that if you leave your cup, you could come back and just tap your finger in there. And if your nails turn a certain color, somebody put something in your drink. But I taught my daughters, you got to hold that in your hand. Don't you sit that down. Hold your drink and right in front of you. Don't be having your drink sit there, somebody right there, you turning your head, eat bloop, bloop, because they can go over they know how to go over and do this. They know how to reach over your glass and drop that right in your glass. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And you buy your drink, they got to open it right there in front of you. You don't want them to open nothing and pour it. No, open it right here. That's why, you know what I'm saying? That's why drinking ain't cool like that. Because you got to monitor who you drinking with. It's a lot of ways they can spike you, man. So they could have got spiked at 19. So they was doing, who knows what they was doing. 19, you kind of wild. You don't get out of that until you about, they're going to be like 22, 23 before they began to mature out of that. Not really. They could have been gone before the car got there. They could have just been transported in the car. So it could be the police, but it could be anybody because they live in the area, Mary. They live in the area around a bunch of whites. They went to school with a bunch of whites, I bet you. Hold on. What school they went to? Let me see what school they went to. If somebody, And that'll tell it all. A lot of times when you're searching that kind of stuff, you can't find. It's like vague. All right, let me see if I can find it. They graduated from Collins Hill High School. All right, let's see. Got lucky that time. Collinsville High School. Yep. Told you. Look. This is where they went to school at. See? See, it's a mixed school. I see one black girl, two. I see like 3, 4. Right. Right. They went to one of these type of schools where it's blacks there, but it's like it's like 80-20, you know, maybe 75-25. So yeah. Yeah, they went, yeah. Know what I'm saying? So anything could have happened. Yeah, anything could have happened. So there's black people there though, but you know, it's one of the mixed areas. The mixed areas is dangerous. I'm trying to tell you. Okay, I see some black dudes on the football team and all that. So yeah, it's where they live at ain't so dangerous. Where they was living is not too bad. But when you live in them places like that, you know, that's why I tell you drive around. When you live in the places like that, you live here in like Collinsville or whatever. What there is there's a bunch of little towns like that. And then there's a big old Walmart like in the center. So there's like a Walmart here. And you drive so many miles, there's a town there, so many miles like that. That's how those places set up. If you go to Walmart, everybody be at the Walmart when you go to these places that's not major cities. If you want to see everybody in town, all you got to do is go hang out to Walmart for 2 days. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And when you live in those type of areas, in a country, come on, man. You in a Confederate. You know what I'm saying? You ain't up north. You ain't in Wisconsin. You ain't in Minnesota. You in Alabama. You in Texas. You in Georgia. They still own that. You in the Confederate territory. They still mad about the Confederate War. They still mad that they Confederate flags was pulled down and their statues were pulled down. They mad about that. They lost a lot of money when slavery ended. A lot of them went broke. They finally lost all their property when slavery, they lost. They ain't happy about that. They still mad about that. So, you know, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? I be telling my children don't move to them places. They don't be listening. I be telling them, I don't know why you move there. They be wanting to move to them weirdo little place. I'm like, I don't know why you move there. You ain't gonna make no money. They ain't got no jobs. Swanee, Georgia is only 11% black. Exactly. So it's like, ain't no way. Ain't no way I raise my children there. Ain't no way I live there. You said you curious about how they lured the twins from it ain't they wasn't that they never made it to the airport because they found their car. They never made it to the airport. This happened to them before they was even supposed to be at the airport. I'm glad you said something with your cute self, Pieces Hayes. You know they did not even uh they never made it. They never made it to the airport. This probably happened the day before, a day or two before, for sure. Because I think their flight was supposed to leave early in the morning, so it ain't no way. I think their flight was supposed to leave like 7, 8 in the morning, so there's no way. No, they never made. They never made it to the airport. Their tickets was in their wallet, still in the car. If they supposed to leave like Wednesday, this probably happened like a Monday. They found them like Tuesday. I could tell that they family didn't know where they was at because they finally said they were supposed to be going, which means they probably lived on their own, right? Because the family didn't say they left to go, right? So you have to listen. The family didn't say they left to go to the airport. The family said they were supposed to be gone. They were supposed to be leaving on this so-and-so day, which tells me they lived on their own somewhere, that they wasn't around their family every day. But when last time they was with them on the phone, they told them when they was going out of town because they was going to see the other family members. So because they was going to see other family members, the whole family probably knew when the trip was. But other than that, nobody probably didn't know what they was doing from day to day. They was grown. And for sure, junior year, senior year, first year out and all that, you be just gone. You just be on your own. Yo, nobody know where you at. Nobody knew I was at 16, 7. Man, I'll be honest with you. My mom and dad didn't even know I was at in the 6th, 5th, or 6th grade. They know I was somewhere in the neighborhood. They didn't know I was at. They damn sure didn't know I was in 5th grade that I'm somewhere drinking vodka and orange juice and smoking Salem's. They ain't know nothing. I started smoking reefer after the 6th grade. My parents didn't find out I smoked weed till I was in high school. I said they didn't know nothing. All they know is what I showed them when I walked through the door. And if I was too high, too drunk, I would just walk past them real quick and go to my room. They ain't don't pay no attention. I've been walking in and out for years. It's just another day. I came on. I got a little cologne. I got some Banaka. I got some Visine in my eyes, and I try to hurry up and so my mama can't inspect me. I'd run away to avoid inspection. They didn't know what I was doing. They didn't know I was out there shooting dice and all that. They didn't know nothing. Parents don't know nothing. You don't know what your children are doing once they start moving around a lot. The only time you know what they're doing is up to about the 4th grade, maybe 5th grade, depending on how much they outside. If they still coming in a lot, you know what they're doing. But if they outside, like my generation, we didn't come in the house. See, in my generation, we didn't ever come in the house. You go outside in the morning and you come on the block when the street lights in, then your mama call you when she ready for you to come on in. But even from a little boy, we didn't come in the house. It was a different generation. When I was growing up, your mom wants you to get out, go play, go play, go play. So your parents throw you out. Go outside and play, child, go play. You know what I'm saying? My children don't know nothing about that. When I was growing up, we stayed outside. We would come inside to use the restroom. We wouldn't even come inside to drink. We turn the water hose on the side of the house. You know what I'm saying? We gone. My mama come home. Boy, you on that baseball field all day. You ain't even had nothing to drink or came in to get no water or nothing. Man, we're playing baseball. I ain't thinking about all that. Plus, we got the ice cream truck. You know what I'm saying? We were sophisticated kids. We got money in our pocket. I got $1. I got 75 cents. Back then, man, in the 60s, 70s, you know how much you can get for 75 cents? For 25 cents, man, you could get almost 50 pieces of candy if you buy the 2-for-1s. 50 cents, man, I'll go a bag of potato chips for 10 cents, a Hostess fruit pie, and a whole bunch of candy, cookies. They try to get busy, but not really. They don't even be home like that. They just want you to go play. They don't want you playing in the house. See, they came up where you got outside and you wandered around out on the farm. You went out. And so they didn't want you to go outside to get them no privacy. They want you to go outside so you won't be trying to play in the house. Stop trying to play in here. Go outside. Because a lot of times, my daddy was still at work because he worked a certain schedule. Back in those days, they didn't really have sex like that until like late at night when you were asleep. They didn't really do sex and stuff in the day like that. They wait till you is, I had never, and then my parents had a lock on the door, but I never seen nothing that looked anything like that. Even TV, Dick Van Dyke and his wife had 2 different beds. Like they was real careful about that. I never seen my mom with no sexy clothes on or none of that stuff. Back in those days, they really did a good job with that. You had no idea nothing about that. Matter of fact, they wouldn't even kiss each other and stuff. I never seen my mom and daddy kissing on each other. For real. I never seen my daddy kissing on my mama, on the cheek or none of that. They ain't do none of that in front of no kids. None of that. My parents, they didn't kiss all on me and my sister and do all that stuff that y'all doing with these kids. My mom and dad didn't tell us they love us. That weirdo stuff. That sound crazy to me. Your mama got to tell you she love you. Your mama. Y'all think it makes sense. That's crazy. All that do is make them think you don't. Because, of course she loved me. I would have never questioned it. Unless she started telling me. Who questions if they mama love them? Nobody. Okay? If you're a normal kid, you grew up with your mom and daddy, you do not question if they love you. That sounds crazy. You know what I'm saying? That sounds crazy. I never would have thought about that. That never would have crossed my mind. Like, I never would have asked myself, do my mama and my daddy love me? Mommy and daddy? That just sounds crazy. Like, mommy and daddy? Do mommy and daddy love you? That just sounds crazy. I can't even see how you could question that. That's why we never thought about that. I never thought about that my whole life. I never thought about if my mama loved me. That sounds crazy. That would have been an insult. Oh my God. Y'all young people just don't know. Man, if I would have asked my mama, do you love me? She would have been pissed. Oh my God, that would have been oh my God, that would be an insult. Y'all don't know, that would have been an insult. Dad would have told her, you don't appreciate all she do for you. That's all that would have meant. That's all that would have meant, that all that stuff your mama do for you, you don't appreciate it. Because she cook for you every day, she feed you every day, she buy you clothes, and you got the nerve to ask her, do she love you? You want her to tell you she love you? Seriously? That's why these women ain't no good, because y'all babying them, keep telling them y'all love them, and you doing all this stuff for them, and you constantly got to tell them you love them. So now when I marry your goofy ass, I got to do all this shit and pet you like you a little poodle and shit. I got to constantly tell you I love you. I just bought your fucking diamond ring, but 2 days later, I got to tell you I love you. No, bitch, I just bought the ring for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck out of here. That shit's an insult. You know what I'm saying? My mama would have been pissed. She would have been like, do I love you? No, I just went and bought them sneakers and stuff for nothing. Boy, you don't get out of my face. You don't appreciate nothing. Don't ask me nothing like that. My mom would have said, no. I can't stand you actually right now. My mom would have probably said no. She would have been pissed. She would have probably said, boy, if you don't get out of my face or some, she would have said some. That would have been, I never would have asked that. I never would have asked no shit like that to my mom and my daddy. They're my superheroes. Come on, man. You love mommy and daddy, so you know they love you. Mommy and daddy are superheroes. Mommy and daddy, do mommy love me? Mommy? Her name Mommy. You know what I'm saying? That's so crazy. How you a mommy and you can't tell your child you love them and you mommy. Come on. Come on. That's crazy. I don't be telling my kids I love them and all that shit. I wish I would be telling my kids I love my own damn kids. Boy, I wish I would. I'm not telling you shit. Is you crazy? You must have lost your mind. Don't ask me no. I know, don't ask me no shit like that. Because I hate when women ask me that. I'm like, no, bitch, I'm just with you for nothing. I can't stand that. I can't stand for women trying to see if I love them. Like, I ain't got nothing better to do. I'm just with you. Oh, okay. So I'm just with you for what? Crazy. Like, love shouldn't, what's understood don't have to be said. You know what I'm saying? What's understood don't have to be said. I can't see myself asking my woman, do she love me? That sounds crazy. I can't see why I would ask you that. We together. I ain't fragile, so I don't need you rubbing on me. I love you, Pharaoh. I love you. I love you. That's going to make me suspicious. What's going on, Ross? I don't want no woman to tell me she love me all the time. I'll be like, I think this bitch cheating. You know what I'm saying? Don't keep saying that shit to me. You know what I mean? You'll make me suspicious. Why you keep trying to reconfirm that? I already know that. What's up with you? What you done did? What you feel guilty about? Why you gotta tell me that? What's up? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? We got shit to do. We don't got time for that. That's a whole nother video. You know, if you marry a woman that come from a broken home and not a good mom and daddy, you got to keep petting her. I love you. I love you. You know what I mean? You got to keep petting her and tell her you love her because nobody never loved her before. But a lot of these women don't know love until they ain't got it no more. They don't know you love them till you break up and then they get with some other people and see, oh, he treated me like this. He treated me like that. I guess that was love. Duh. Stupid. Why would I ask you that, Mary, and me and you together, and I'm going to disgrace my queen, and you my queen, Mary? I would never ask you nothing like that when you with me every day, cooking for me and doing all type of nice stuff for me, giving your body to me and shit. And I'm going to say something like that? That's disrespectful. Buying me stuff. That's how we say we love you. I say I love you when I come back with something. Look, babe, I seen this. I bought this for you. I knew you was going to like this. That's it right there. I'm not even thinking about you if I don't go, you know what I'm saying? Had to say that. What you mean by had to? You gonna say what you say. A woman only gonna A man that say that, he ain't had to. He just wimp. And he just saying that anyway. That's not normal. It's not matter what day it is. That's just not normal. I love you is something you say early in the relationship when you first fall in love. He'd be like, I think I love you, you know? And then once I love you, you don't unlove you. So that's when it gets weird. You love me, I love you, we get married. Now explain to me what part of that got to be reestablished. I'm not doing that. I don't care what year it is. That's y'all doing that. That's what relationships is horrible. Because you've got no commitment or nothing. You don't even believe in your own love. Well, you got to keep reconfirming love. If you got to keep reconfirming love, that means everything you're doing is being taken for granted, right? So if you taking a woman out and taking her to dinner and doing all these nice things and making love to her passionately and all that, and you really deal with her, why would she ask you for words when you doing action? That to me, that don't make no sense. So even the question you say you have to do that, that's just weird too. That I got to do that based on what? To keep her? Like I can't keep no woman like that. How am I keep her? Something wrong with her. She probably had a bad. If you had come up with good parents and a good family, you don't do that. Only people from broken homes, families with divorce, them the only people got that type of insecurity. I've been with women that got that type of insecurity. You know what I'm saying? And I understand it because they usually come from broken homes. Their daddy wasn't there, their mama, their homes messed up. Mama drunk or whatever, something like that. So they don't know nothing about love. They ain't never seen it before. So maybe in that, maybe them. But my thing is, if you come from a broken home and stuff, you got these bad ideas. I'm not gonna keep feeding that. My job is to get you out of that. Yeah, I love you now. That's it. I'm not gonna keep that psychological damage alive by feeding it. I'm not gonna keep feeding that. I don't know about liking love because ain't nobody you getting in a relationship that just like somebody. I ain't never been with a woman and had sex with her all the time and be a couple and living together and liked her. I ain't never liked no woman I'm having sex with all the time and living with. I only like my friends. So that just sounds crazy. I ain't never liked nobody I was in relationship. Any woman I was in relationship with, it was love. I ain't never liked my woman. How the hell I'm gonna like my woman? So y'all can see early in the relationship, yeah, you don't know if you love each other yet. But damn, y'all done been together 3 years. Duh, what is that? Ain't nobody like nobody for 3 years in those relationships. Anyway, sex creates love anyway. It creates a certain bond right off the top. So once you having sex with each other, it's on. Anyway, you can't get no more closer than that. You're all up inside of us. How close can you get? We're not close. I'm inside you. For what? It's all the time I'm with you. I live with you. Come on. That already speaks for itself. You live with me and I'm asking you, do you love me? No, she just living here. I don't. I'm just saying, when you have intercourse, you be inside of them. I mean, what's funny? We grown, right? That's how I got 6 children. I had to get inside of a woman to get the children. I mean, we adults, man. That's not funny. That's just like sex education 101. Like, what are you doing, Terrence? Come on, we adults over here, bro. Come on. We have an adult conversation. We ain't no kids. There's nothing funny. I don't know what's funny, bro. What's with all the monster funny faces? Like, you know what I'm saying? You might hear them say that under certain circumstances. You might hear them say that. When I was growing up, my mother and father wasn't around each other a whole lot. My daddy drove the bus. He worked certain, they worked different shifts to be able to take care of the children. We didn't have a preschool. So back in those days, the main thing parents had to do was who's going to watch these children. You understand? So back in those days, our family, me and my sister, my daddy, my mom would go to work early in the morning. My daddy would be there to get us off to school. Then he would work a split where he would go to work as soon as he sends to school. Then he get an off break, come home, fix our lunch, go back and finish work. He not getting in until night, 10, 11 at night when he come back. Then my mama get home at 5:30 and she take care of everything. So by the time my daddy usually get home, we sleep or we went and picked them up. But I'll be sleeping in the car. So when we go pick my dad from work, I probably fall asleep on the ride back. But by the time they get back home together, me and my sister sleep because they work schedule. They had to work in a way where they could take care of the children. We wouldn't be at home by ourselves. My daddy drove the city bus, so he had a crazy schedule. Sometimes he drive all night, so sometimes he won't be home all night. But back in those days, when your parents was around each other, I might have seen them say that stuff when I was a teenager, but I was a different type of teenager. This is Chicago. So like once I got like 16, I wasn't at home no more like that. I don't know what they saying. I'm outside and driving. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not at home. I wasn't an at home child like that. I was outside, baseball, basketball, bike. Boom, then get older in the car, here, there, gone, doom, 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 doom. Yeah, your dad was at night. You know what I'm saying? But back in those days, they didn't do mushy stuff. I'm talking about back in the 60s, 70s. Black couples didn't do mushy stuff. Not my uncles, not none of the family friends, Mr. Smith, Mr. Hardy, Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Richardson, they didn't do that type of stuff. Anytime when I was growing up, anytime you was around your mother and father, they was never husband and wife. If that makes sense. They were never a couple. They was always mommy and daddy when you was awake. They were never a couple when you awake. When I was growing up. When they was parenting, they was parents. There was not a relationship. As long as y'all up and they got a man at y'all, it's mama and his daddy. They not a couple. They not lovers. No. It's mama and daddy. They like authority figures, like president and vice president. I don't know. Maybe y'all was lucky. You know what I'm saying? Maybe y'all lucky. Maybe y'all unlucky because we the ones was lucky because mama and daddy was mama and daddy. I mean, I've been in relationships. A woman, first off, you only gonna be with a woman that you like. So if you with a woman that need that, that's because you picked her. See, I probably would never pick her, so I wouldn't know. So if I'm dating a girl and we start having sex and getting closer, and she start asking me like, "Do you love me? Do you love me?" I'd probably break up. I'm sure I would. I wouldn't like her. I wouldn't like her. She's too needy. Girl, I need to breathe. Get the fuck off of me. Like what? I would feel like she. I'm gonna feel like she creating something I can't. I'm gonna feel like she gonna put stuff on the table I can't fulfill. I don't want to be with her no 50 years constantly. I love you. I love you. I love you. One year. I love you. The two years. I love you. I love you. I'm not willing to do that 50, 60 years because she something emotionally wrong with her. I need a woman. I tell you I love you. If I don't love you, I'll let you know. Like I need somebody that really is intelligent that know once I tell you I love you, I didn't tell you I don't love you. So what are we doing? So I don't want nobody to assume I might not love them. I'm not dealing with no nut like that. Well, I just told you I love you. I told you I love you, and then you constantly questioning if I love you or not. You gotta go. Yeah, you gotta go. Because you the type of person that don't love steady. You telling on yourself. Let me tell y'all something. A person be telling on themselves. Whatever they think about you, they telling you about themselves. So if a woman constantly think you don't love her no more, that's because she in and out of love. That's why she think like that. Why would she think like that other than herself? The only thing she got an example of is her. So you telling me that you a wishy-washy chick, you want to break up, or you love me, break up, love me, break up, love me. That's that type of chick. I swear to God. And she'll cheat on you. Because why you keep monitoring if I love you? You want to go fuck somebody else, just go ahead. Leave me the fuck alone. You keep questioning me if I love you. Nah, bitch, it's over. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna keep asking me this shit. You creeping me out, really. I can't fuck with no women like that. I can't fuck with you. Working period is difficult on relationships. Period. Because women need attention and sometimes they overlook survival. And that's the problem with relationships. Me and you together, we gotta survive. We can't survive off no goddamn love. Okay? We can't survive off of that. We can't survive off of me trying to constantly please you and take you everywhere and all that. We can't survive like that. We have to be on survival mode. Did we not all this playing? This ain't good for no damn relationships. That's why so many people losing their homes, losing their cars. They're going out here playing around. The job lay them off. They lose everything. They lose everything because they playing. And women is the last ones you want to listen to because they horrible with money. They talk about the black woman got all this money. Watch how broke she be. Watch in another 3 years, when they talking about all these black women moving up, watch what happens. All that money going to Birkin bags and all that money going right out. They ain't gonna have a quarter. They ain't because they too emotional and they be forgetting about survival. Black women have drove a lot of black families broke where they just kept spending their husband's money. When my daddy and my mama came up, your mama could just, his wife could just get a credit card in your name. I don't know, they might have changed that, but it used to be once I marry you, you could just go get a credit card and run it up. And I cut it up, you can go get another. And I gotta pay it. I gotta pay it. Women used to be able to get a credit card in your name because you are white and run it up. And you working your ass off trying to take care of the bills and she messing the money up. You lose everything you got. And it's the simps out there making relationships bad. These brothers that's catering to these women, they ruining black marriage. They ruining marriage. Because they doing something, ain't nobody going to be able to do that pussy shit. And you fucking the marriages up. You telling these women the wrong thing, running behind her like a little bitch. And that's ruining marriages, ruining our money, ruining our families, and ruining marriages. Because you telling these women some fake ass shit that's not real. Two people get together to survive, not to be lovey-dovey. It's a partner. Young people, when you get in a relationship, it's a partnership to survive. Then everything else. You got to eat, right? All right. You got to have a roof over your head. You got to pay for your that's survival. So you have to focus on surviving. You can't be no woman, got me the one focusing on survival, and you just focusing on lovey-dovey shit. You focusing on bullshit. You focusing on how much money we could give away. The women always messing their money up. And now they raise the men, and what the men doing? What the men, since these single women been raising these boys, what these boys is? Just like women. Jeezy talked about, I'm always shopping at the mall. They got all them earrings on. They got all that jewelry on. I don't mind getting some nice jewelry, but they be having and all new clothes every day. They showing they new clothes. They got 1,000 pairs of shoes. Women only ones used to have that. Men used to have a brown pair and a black pair of sneakers. Now men got a shoe closet. Primping and pressing and primping around. Whereas me, I get some black shoes. When I wear some of them, wear the black ones or the brown ones. I might get a couple of other colors, depending on my wardrobe, and that's it. And when a pair go bad, then I get a new black pair. Brown ones go bad, I get a new brown pair. But I'm not trying to go out every day for somebody to see what kind of shoes I got on. I'm a man. I'm not out here for you to be looking at my feet. The first stage of a relationship is love. The first stage of a relationship is love. Because if it's hormones, not a relationship, y'all just fucking. Love don't take no time. You fall in love quick. Love don't take no time. You be around a woman 2 or 3 times, you either in love or you're not. Don't take all that time. Love don't take no time like that. The reason that people don't understand love, because they don't understand that love grows. So they think when it get here is love. You understand? Nah, you fake. Don't listen to Jeannie. I gotta get you out of here. Don't try to teach on top of me. You learn. I know you knew. I gotta get that out of here. Because you're teaching the people the wrong way. It ain't hormones. You don't be in no relationship with hormones. First off, hormones don't make a girl look good, right? So hormones don't make you attracted to a woman. Sex is not as powerful as people think. Sex will not make you want to keep going to see no woman. When you keep going to see a woman, you like her. Exhibit A. I got out the county jail. I had a little apartment because I didn't want to go where I lived at. My ex, I'm breaking up with her, but she live out there with the children. I'm staying in the city because I'm fighting a case. I don't want to go out there. They might plant something on me, whatever. I don't want to go back to Harvey. I got women coming to my apartment every weekend, 4 or 5 women doing all type of shit. I met my daughter's mother. She didn't have it yet. Boom. I stopped dealing with them women. That's love. If it's hormones, I had plenty of women to deal with the hormones. If it's hormones, I could have just keep having the 5, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 women coming every weekend. So it wasn't sex. I was having plenty of sex. So what made me stop dealing with them? Kick that all to the curb. That's love. That's not hormones. Love will make you dump all the bust downs. They out of here. So that's not hormones, okay? That be love. And then you want to be with that person all the time. You don't want to have sex because you can only have so much sex. And when you love somebody, you be around them all day. You might only have sex once or twice. It's 24 hours. Why you around them all these other hours? Because you become like family. Then she get pregnant, you actually be family. So now she's pregnant. That's love. That's love. She's pregnant. She wants some pickles and an orange crush soda and a chocolate donut at 1 a.m. I'm driving out to Super Kmart that don't close, all the way from O Block, all the way out to 100 something just to get her this weird stuff she got craving for while she's pregnant. And buy a robe, and stuff. That's love. That ain't hormones. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, orange soda. It might not be orange soda. Like she asked me for, she wasn't no vegan like me. And that's love too. She wasn't no vegan. She had no dreadlocks. So that's where the babies and stuff come in at. You know what I'm saying? Then when you have the babies and stuff, that's why it's a commitment. It's a family commitment. But see, people, you don't include the children. This new generation, y'all don't include the children. That's why I keep teaching, Jenny. A relationship is not between a man and a woman. A relationship is a man, a woman, and the children. A relationship is a man, a woman, and the children. That is a relationship. Our family relationship was my mother, my father, me, and my sister. We are relatives. Relation is the root word of relative. Relative, relationship, relatives. We are relatives. We're a relationship. Back in the day, the fathers used to buy Valentine candy for everybody. Did y'all know that? Back in the 50s and the 60s, daddy would come on with some candy and a big box for mommy. And me and my sister, my daddy would give me and my sister 2 little boxes of candy. Valentine's Day was not for couples. Valentine's Day was to show your family you loved them. It was for men to show their family they love them. And the men used to show everybody. They cut out the children and they just made it like a day to go have sex and put petals and stuff, weirdo stuff. And now everybody doing all that and getting divorced. So Cardi B and Offset have, a pink Rolls Royce and petals all the way to the bed and be broke up 2 years later. So that's how great that worked, right? But originally, on Valentine's Day, my daddy would buy me, my mom, and my sister stuff. And when I'm in like the 1st or 2nd grade, my mama would buy me little Valentine's Day cards. And she'd make me put all the girls' name in my class on there and go give it to them at school. My mama taught me how to be a player early. My mama used to send me on Valentine's Day with cards and candy for every girl in the class. I swear to God. That's how you raise your sons. Raise them to be some men. My mama used to ask me in like the 2nd grade, so who you like up at that school? I know you like one of them little girls trying to teach me to be a heterosexual. And I'm like, nobody. She say, yes, you do. Who? No, I don't. I don't like nobody. Yes, you do. What's her name? Mommy's got psychology. What's her name? Mama. What's her name? The girl you like. Debbie. She used to work. She was smart. She said, "What's the name of the girl up there first?" She said that about 2 or 3 times. I don't like nobody. Then she say, "What's her name?" First she would say, "What? Who's the girl?" But she said, "What's her name? Go ahead and tell me." And after a while, you'd be like, "Debbie, she cute." Mm-hmm. Like, okay. My mama started doing that in like first grade. First grade, she asked me that. Then she sent me up there with stuff for the little girls. Back then, if you liked a girl, you'd be like, "Will you go with me?" And she go, "Yeah." You'd be like, "We go together." You don't never go nowhere, but some kind you go to. I don't know what go together mean, but we go together. That's my. I'm second grade. That's my girlfriend. We go together. Where do y'all go? Nowhere. You know what I'm saying? But we go. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Some kind of way we break up. I don't know how that happened, but some kind of way she don't be my girlfriend no more. I don't know. Then it'd be a long time before you get another one. Because you know, when you little girls is yucky. You don't like girls, not like that. You like them. You like them when you're real little, but then you get a little older, you don't like them, and then you like them again. The whole time you like them, but you mess with them and you irritate them because you don't know how to like them, so you mess with them and pick at them. There was a girl went to school, man. Her name was Anita Norwood. She was the most beautiful thing in the world to me. Boy, I loved Anita. I didn't know it. I was a little boy, but I was in the third grade, I think. Third or fourth grade. I would always mess with her. I always mess with her. She got mad. She told, and her mama came up to the school about me messing with her daughter. And her mama was fine as hell. I was in the fourth grade. I don't know what fine meant. Her mama was so fine that I didn't like her no more. I liked her mama. So I kept messing with her, trying to get her mama to come back up there. Man, I need your mama to come back up here and discipline me. You know what I'm saying? I kept trying to, her mama was fine. I was in love with Anita. When her mama came up there, I was like, okay, Anita, it's over. It is really over. She's like, leave my daughter alone. I was like, okay. I was like, okay, I will. I'll do whatever you say. I don't know what she had, but whatever she had, I've seen it. I don't know what I was looking at, G Mix. I don't know what I was looking at. You know what I mean? But yeah, we got to get, for especially Black Americans, we got to turn relationships back into survival. You know what I'm saying? We got to turn relationships back into survival. We got to get these women back into survival mode. Love got to be automatic. You know what I'm saying? Love got to be automatic. Automatic love. That's it. We got that established. I love you. You love me. Let's get married. Boom. I do. You do. All right. Now we can't constantly keep trying to keep that together. That's supposed to be together. So we in a world where you're trying to keep a marriage together. Listen, the vows say it's on. So I don't understand what you're doing. You already said you're gonna be together forever. So I'm confused. That's why people just taking them vows, and they ain't listening to the vows. And you up there saying all that through sickness and health, for better, for worse, for richer, for poor, till death do you part. Then you ask me, do I love you? Bitches say till death do us part. We ain't dead, right? I ain't dead. Too late for what? Ain't no too late for nothing. You say love is spiritual. Can your soulmate be anybody? No. I be fucking my soulmate. If she ain't give me no pussy, the bitch ain't my soulmate. I don't know who that hoe is. And no pussy, no mate. First time, we ain't even no kind of mate if we ain't fucking. Come on now. I ain't got no. Come on, man. I need a pussy mate because I ain't fucking your soul. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Whatever. I'm trying to get your soul to come up out you, get your legs a shaking. I don't want no soulmate. What the hell is that? I need a wife. I don't want no soulmate. I don't want no soulmate. I don't want no partner. Partner is like somebody you jump rope with us, ain't it? Somebody you dance with or something, I guess. I don't know. Mm-mm. I don't know what no soulmate is. I know I don't want to marry no woman that had a soulmate because she gonna still be in love with this. She gonna still be soulmated with him. So what I'm gonna marry you for? You, this dude, soulmate. Did I see your question? Could your soulmate be anybody, not necessarily your spouse? No, I answered your question. No, 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 Mary. My soulmate, my soul, no, I don't want no soulmate. I need a wife. I don't want nobody to mate with my soul. That's that woke weird stuff. I'm not doing all that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you might want to have a soulmate. Everybody got the right to live their life and make it terms they want. But you know what I'm saying? We already said till death do us part, for rich or for poor, through sickness or health. You got many soulmates. I ain't got no motherfucking soulmate. My soul is solo. So I ain't got no soulmate. Speak for yourself. I'm just telling you, Mary, if me and you together, we ain't gonna be no soulmates. We're gonna be fucking, you're gonna be my wife. You ain't finna be my soulmate. You probably cute too. You'd be my wife. You can never be my soulmate, Mary. My soul don't get hard. I'm just saying, you ain't gonna be fucking my soul. Come do it, ride my pony. My saddle's waiting, come jump on it. That's what we gonna be on. Shit. I ain't trying to I ain't trying to fuck with your soul. I mean, it's something they made up, but you know, a soulmate is only a soulmate until you stay together the whole time. If you break up, was it your soulmate? If you marry a woman and you get a divorce 15 years later, I guess it wasn't your soulmate. I guess it was just your wife at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you my soulmate. Soulmates can't break up. Yeah, Jenny, soulmates can't break up. I ain't never had a soulmate. I've been married 3 times, so I guess ain't none of them was my soulmate. It was good while it lasted. They were some sweetie pies. I got 6 children, but not out of them. I got 6 children from, I think, what, 4 women? Oh, let me see. One, two, let me see. One, two, let me see. Sia, Joyce, Ricky. 5. I got 6 children from 5 women, but a couple of them passed away, so don't judge me. Yeah, I got 6 children from 5 women, but 2 of them is no longer here. Rest in peace to them. There could be a lot of situations where you don't be together. Maybe I'll talk about that one day. What's my love language? I don't got no love language. You know what I'm saying? I speak English. Ebonics. Y'all need a bag. Once I meet a woman, it's that little period where we dating or whatever, and then we become a couple. And for me, once we become a couple, now it's time to get down to business. For me, now we a couple. Okay, let's get to the bag. Let's get to let's get to what's got the roof over our head. Let's get to what's gonna put food on the table. Like let's get to that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Zip. You know what I'm saying? That's what. If you don't focus on that, you're gonna get to the age of retirement. You ain't gonna have enough money for retirement. You're gonna still be working until you 80 years old. Your health's gonna be shot because you didn't care nothing about taking care of your health. You was on all kind of weirdo stuff. You was going on vacation, but you was going on vacation eating stuff that was gonna make you have less vacations. You're going on vacation to end up in dialysis because everything you ate on a vacation gonna make you sick. Yeah, let's get to the bag. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, people live in fake relationships, but in real relationships, when you first get with a woman, you're gonna have her to yourself. If she ain't got no children, you're gonna have her to yourself until she get pregnant. Once y'all have some babies, y'all ain't gonna be able to deal with each other until them babies is gone to college, till they gone, before you have me and you time again. There's no more me and you time when you mommy and daddy. Some of y'all is doing that. That's why y'all the worst mommy and daddies in the world. Because once you got children, it's no longer no two. It's always the children. My parents never went to the movies without me and my sister. My parents never went on no vacation without me and my sister. My parents never went visiting or nothing without me and my sister. The only time my parents went somewhere without me and my sister is after a job had some type of banquet or something, which was rare, like once a year. Twice a year. But my mom had never took my daddy never took my mommy to the movies and got a babysitter for us, like you new young weirdos. Wherever, when they went out, it was a family. Drive-in, movie, amusement park, vacation, family. My parents never went on no vacation without me and my sister. Never. The new weirdos, you just see a man and a woman on vacation all the time. They ain't got no children. Totally worthless to me. I don't respect no man that ain't having no baby so we can have no army. You ain't even trying to make sure we can defend ourselves. So you slow. Even when you start talking about babies and you ain't talking about having an army and being able to defend yourself and not putting no babies in no women and raising them. Talking about it's too expensive, and then you go throw a lot of money away on alcohol and cigarettes and drugs and clothes and bags and shit instead of children. You rather have a bunch of fancy shoes and bags than children? Really? You got your priorities messed up. Them bags and shoes gonna come when you at the nursing home? They gonna come to help you? That house gonna help you? Yeah, house ain't gonna help you like your son. They help you like your daughters. They help you. No cars ain't shit. That's trash. Ain't none of that stuff better than no babies. Ain't no house, none of that shit better than no children. Not even close. Look at LeBron mama. Look what the baby did for her. You look at all of these mothers that had these babies and worked with them and made them be successful. Look how good they living. Look at John Morant. Look at his daddy and mama, how good they live because they work with that boy and send him to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Your best investment is babies. Don't let nobody fool you. Because your parents' best investment was you. The best thing y'all parents ever did was have y'all. Name me something that your parents did was better than having you. Nothing. Nothing they accomplished is better than having you. You a whole life now. I don't care what kind of house they had, what kind of car, none of that equal you. You're more valuable than all of that. What car is more valuable than you? What house? What house is more valuable than you? How much a house costs? How much a person costs? A person is priceless. You know what I'm saying? Your best investment is children, having children. And taking care of these women. If women have a baby, and take care of her. If y'all break up, still take care of the children, still be cordial. Once you with a queen, no matter what, you always take care of that queen. Not with money and stuff, but you always, once you have a baby by you, then she forever under your protection. Y'all ain't got to be together. Y'all ain't got to be friends or nothing. But if she in a bad situation and nobody can help her, and that's your child's mother, you better go help her. All my children's mother, if you was to make a mistake and bother them and they couldn't get nobody to help them and they called me, your ass is in bad shape. Because I'm going to defend my children's mothers. Because I'm not going to let you bring no pain to my children. You might not bring pain to me because she ain't my mama. That's my children's mama. And now whatever you do to her affect my babies. Well, they grown now. So I'm not going to let you mess up my children's life. You crazy. Well, my offspring, because they ain't children no more, but I ain't finna let you do nothing to their mamas. You crazy. That's just mine. Y'all brothers do what y'all do with y'all. But mine, no. If it get crazy, they don't call me. I'm going to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Period. And if I got a wife and I got to go defend an ex-wife because it's my children, she don't understand, then she ain't qualified to have no babies by me. And how could she not want me to do something I'll do for her? So she crazy. I do the same thing for you. So what? What if we break up? I'm going to still defend you. If you got my children, now if you ain't got my children, you're on your own. If you ain't got my children and we break up, I don't want nothing to happen to you, but I ain't got nothing to defend. So I'm not just defending no ex, but my children's mother or my offspring's mother, I can't let them, I don't want them miserable. I want my children miserable. So if you get with one of my children's mother, you better behave yourself, because if you go too far, you better have your life insurance paid. I'm going to just tell you, I don't care nothing about that. I don't care nothing about her, but I got children. And now they upset. And now the monster coming. Which ain't going to happen because they going to tell you, no, you can't do that because they already know. I don't want Pharaoh. Don't nobody want Pharaoh involved. My mama didn't even want me involved. Nobody want the monster involved. Because I'd be over whooping. So I hope y'all learn from that. Be positive. And in this situation, if y'all live in some of y'all live in these rural areas and stuff like that, well, it's up, okay? It's up. Memo, it's up, okay? Racism is at an all-time high. Trump and Elon is sending out bird whistles and dog whistles, signaling white supremacy. And now we're going to separate the men from the boys. So y'all better protect yourself, ladies. Go to the range, get your gun license, get a gun. Learn how to shoot a gun. Men, get your license, learn how to shoot a gun. Teach a woman how to shoot a gun. Take her to the gun range. And y'all practice safety. Safety, safety. All that running around in them weird areas at night, that's over with. It's time for black people to take the party back into the house. It's time to get you some Monopoly, get you some all type of games, some checkers, some pickup sticks, some cards, a deck of cards. It's time to take the entertainment back in the house. This is one reason the family's so weak. Y'all don't play no old maid. Y'all don't play no pity pat, no war. Y'all, the new black family is horrible. I've been around a couple of families and this, y'all boring. Y'all don't got no family. Y'all think the only way you can have fun is go run the white people shit and spend money. Y'all don't even know how to have fun in the house. Y'all ain't got no record players. Y'all don't be playing no music. Y'all don't be dancing. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with y'all generation? You don't know how to do, you don't have no fun in the house as a family. No, that's like y'all breaking all the black family traditions. A lot of y'all should be locked up for not playing no bid whist. Y'all don't be playing no bid whist. What kind of black people is y'all? You what? Y'all don't be playing no bid whist in the house? That's crazy. You always running around. You think it's spending money is running around, giving these people all your damn money. Sit your monkey ass down. You go to work 5 days a week. You want to run around? That's why you be so tired and drained out. You're supposed to work Monday through Friday. You're supposed to sit down at the crib Saturday and Sunday. Use Saturday to go get some stuff or one of the days after work. And you're supposed to enjoy your 2 days off. You ain't supposed to still be trying to do all this running around. Especially no man. I ain't never seen men want to go nowhere like that. I be on social media and they be showing them parties. And all them people do. A bunch of black people doing some weirdo dance. Then it's a bunch of men standing around. Okay, it's not enough men to equal the women. It's outnumbered women. So it's a bunch of solo single women in there. Try to see if your man will leave you and come with her. It just be looking like a weirdo. Y'all parties be weirdo functions. Parties used to be, if it's 10 men there, it's 10 women. If it's 10 men, it's 10 women. Self-date, yeah, see all that. Self-date mean go get white people your money, basically. Go throw some money away. Because you empty inside. You ain't got nothing. You empty. You empty. You ain't going to never, ever feel satisfied until you invest in yourself. If you got a job and you go to work, if you don't take some of that money and start investing in yourself, you're going to always have to go somewhere. Because you're going to have to do something, because you just going to feel like, I just go to work and come home. I got to do something. But if you invested in yourself, your outing would be your investment when you get off work. So you wouldn't feel like that. But the reason black people feel like they got to run every weekend, because you don't invest in yourself. So now you just feel like a slave. And you're going trying to cure that slave feeling. Thank God it's Friday. It's hump day. Oh, it's Sunday, fun day. They're making up days for you to go jag your money out. Then it's back Monday. You do the same thing by Friday, you get paid. Oh, I got to go to the club. I got to go this. I got to go that. I got to do this. You understand? I got it. But you instead of investing in yourself. See, my parents didn't know that. My daddy was an excellent carpenter. So imagine if I could have had the man I had now with my daddy. We would have been making shit for sale. We would have made so much money. My daddy used to take me with him. I used to help him make porches. I wasn't nothing but like a freshman in high school. Something I'm making $400, $600, $400 in one day, just helping them build a porch. 2 days I get 600, 800. Wasn't no kids getting that kind of money in 77 like that for no 1 day work. But now with my business mind now, if I had the same situation with this businessman and the way my daddy was with his hands, we would have had our own rocking chairs, tables. We would have got paid. They ended up the opposite direction of the airport, 90 miles out. But the reason everybody's saying that devastating because everybody think that this happened on their way to the airport. This didn't necessarily happen the day they need to go to the airport. This could have easily happened 2 days before, 3 days before. Because it never say that they didn't leave nobody's house to go to the airport. The family just knew they was going out of town, but it's not clear when. And it's not clear when the last time they seen them. So that's why I had it mixed up because they were telling the story like they was on their way to the airport. It don't say they was on their way to the airport. It said that they were supposed to be out of town when they finally found out what happened. So they found out what happened like the day after they were supposed to be out of town. But it don't tell when the abduction happened. That could have happened a week before. That could have happened 2 days before. But I doubt if it happened the day they were supposed to go to the airport because the plane leave early in the morning. They wouldn't have had no time to get caught up. That happened either a day before or 2 days before. It didn't happen on the day they were supposed to go to the airport. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. So we got to wait for more information to come out. Maybe the police told them don't say nothing about the investigation. So they ain't told all the facts. But that's what I found out by doing my little research, that people being misguided thinking they was on their way to the airport and end up this way. But that's not clear because the family have not said when the last time they seen them. But they did have their tickets in their wallet. But, young like that, they might just keep their tickets in their wallet anyway. They're not going to lay them down on the dresser. So if I'm young like that and buy my ticket and I'm leaving 3 days from now, I just put it in my wallet till 3 days. So there ain't no clear information on when was the last time somebody seen them. That's the information we need, all right? So I wish the best for Karmelo, and rest in peace to the 2 young brothers. And this guy right here, don't be a bully. That's all I can tell you. Bullying is not good. You can only bully some people. Some people you bully, you're going to pay. And this guy, he need to be in jail if he worked. And he was supposed to be working not necessarily with the fire department, but he was like a extra or volunteer for these things. And he went and took pictures of a murder scene and sent them out. He's supposed to be in jail for that because he definitely tampering with evidence. That's evidence. And you didn't have no authority to do that. You know what I'm saying? And just by his mugshot, I would say I don't like to judge nobody, but if he don't look like a racist, who do? And he looked like he might even have an abuse problem, but he definitely don't look friendly. He don't look friendly. I don't think he got nothing to do with it, though. He does look mean and vicious, but I don't think he had nothing to do with it because he showed up with the firemen or the ambulance people. So it ain't no way if he would have did the crime There's no way he would have showed up and took the picture. He just a dumbass. Because I don't believe he got nothing to do with it. Because he showed up with the people that after they found the bodies. So there's no way he would have killed them a day or two before that, then showed up and took no picture. He wouldn't have did that. You know what I mean? He wouldn't have did that. He just probably a racist and live in a sundown town and wanted to send it out. You say, how could they get a printed airline ticket? You can only get that at the counter, right? Um, it's a high possibility, Mary, that they went and bought their ticket in them small places like that. Like, I live in a big city, so we'll just make the reservation, get it when we get there. But it's a high possibility they drove to the airport and actually purchased the ticket. Now, maybe they purchased the ticket because maybe there was a deadline for that price, right? So let's say it's a deadline for a price, but I got to get my ticket by now. They might have had that situation. You understand? In a small place like that, they don't be having the same rules in these little towns that they be having in the big city. A lot of people probably get their ticket printed out in that little place. So that's probably not that strange, like it would be in Chicago or New York or Los Angeles or Houston. But they had lived in bumfuck Egypt, so ain't no telling what was going on down there in them backwoods. Yeah, you could pre-check. But I doubt if they've been to the airport that day. It just don't seem like it. You know what I'm saying? It don't seem like it. It seemed like they was running around because even the day before, if you got a flight leaving tomorrow, you ain't gonna be running around too much. Psychologically, to me, if I'm flying out Friday, the latest day I'm gonna run around gonna be Wednesday. I'm not gonna be running around Thursday. So psychologically, this had to happen 2 days before their flight was gonna leave. Cause I can't see me running around today and I'm going out of town tomorrow like that. I can't see me trying to go visit no girls or nothing this close to my trip. I would have went if I'm leaving tomorrow. I would have went and did all that yesterday, the day before yesterday. Today I'm chilling, making sure I got everything ready to leave in the morning because your flight leave in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So if my flight leave in the morning, I'm not going to be running around the day visiting and all that. I don't see that. But the thing is, the parents don't know nothing about them. That's the thing. I don't believe nobody know nothing about them. 19, don't nobody know what you're doing. We don't even know where they lived at. The mama ain't made no statements. We don't know if they live with their mama or not. Don't sound like they lived with no relatives. Because the way they talk about their flight leaving, it sounded like they had heard that a few days ago. Yeah, they were supposed to be leaving and going to visit. So even the stories of people that knew them sound like old stories, like they been knew they was going out of town a week ago, 2 weeks ago, or whenever they bought the ticket. Everybody knew they was going because of family. Then the family might have bought the tickets and they might have just went and got them printed out because they family live in two different places and they was going to see the other half of their family. So ain't no telling family members over there might have sent for them to come. And they went to pick their ticket up, and then all they got to do when they go back to the airport, they ain't got to go through all that. They don't want to go through all that process to get their ticket. They just want to be able to go straight to the gate. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense. But my mind tell me this did not happen no sooner than 3 days before they was getting ready to go. Like if they leaving on a Friday, this happened on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. And it didn't happen Thursday. And the show didn't happen Friday because it's a morning flight or even evening. You ain't finna try to do nothing. But because it said they were supposed to be on a trip, everybody, me included, I jumped to conclusions like they was on their way to the airport. You know, I shouldn't have did that. Because just because they supposed to go on a trip, that don't mean what day they actually left, because nobody really said the last time they seen them. So we don't know. We don't know nothing. How long they been running around? How many days was it when they got their ticket? What was they running around doing 2 days before they had to go, 3 days before they had to go, 4 days before? That's when they got caught up. Because the odds of them going up there and then the body's up there and then somebody find the body that same day, I don't know about that either. I don't know if nobody going to find that body right when they had it up there. They might. You know what I'm saying? Their phones was in the car. Their phones, their wallets with the tickets in it was in the car. And the car was locked in the parking lot that opened early in the morning and closed at sundown. So that means they was there before sundown and their car got closed up in that parking lot. The police should say the ticket. The police reported they both had their tickets. They definitely haven't been to the airport before that happened. And they was not on their way to the airport. I don't believe they was on their way to the airport. I don't believe it. This happened. This did not happen the day they were supposed to go to the airport. That don't make sense. The odds that they just going to the airport and get pulled over, abducted, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. They was doing something and got caught up doing something. They was out there moving around doing something, going to visit somebody or something like that, which had to be 2 days or 3 days before it's time to go. They was out there moving around. One reason I could tell because nobody say, we had just seen them. Right? Nobody say, no video of them physically at the airport. We don't know. They're not going to release that stuff. The police is not going to release nothing that they got until they're ready to make another announcement. So whatever information the police got, they will not release that to the public until they finish sorting through everything. But one clue is nobody in the family said they had just left or I seen them. Nobody said when they seen them last. And that's the clue right there, that the family didn't know where they was at. All the family knew was that they were supposed to be with the other family on a certain day. And they could get that from the family. When Roger and them coming, oh, girl, they going to be here Thursday. See? Because they was going to visit some family. So family could have told them the day they were supposed to be there. They might not even got that from the young men. Because they was going to visit family. And I believe it's the family the one that told them, because the cousin and everybody knew. And I don't believe they told everybody that. I believe the family was communicating about them coming. The family, that's what it looked like to me. The family was communicating about them coming because it don't seem like they talked to them or seen them. To be honest with you, They keep saying they were supposed to be there. They were supposed to be there, but that's vague. Nobody said I had just seen them the day before. They was supposed. Nobody said when they seen them, so it don't seem like nobody seen them in a while. It don't seem like they live with nobody. It seemed like they got their own apartment. You know, it is two 19-year-olds. Out there, apartment dirt cheap. They both got a little job. They can have an apartment for nothing. They ain't paying for no apartment down there. They paying pennies. Two 19-year-olds, you know they was working. You know they was working. So I believe they was just on their own, and the family knew they was coming to see the other family, and that's how the family knew they was coming. But I don't believe nobody had seen them in a while. Nobody probably hadn't seen them in about a week or 5 days or something. It don't sound like nobody seen them when they was getting ready to go, because nobody said, yeah, they was just here and they was getting ready to go. So it don't sound like, because they said they was supposed to be there, which means nobody didn't even know if they left or not, which means they wasn't around nobody. Because if they was around somebody, they would have said, yeah, they left. They was on their way to the airport. Nobody said that. Everybody said, yeah, they were supposed to be out of town, which you could have found that information out a week ago before it happened. That don't sound like, nobody sound like they had no update on them. I watched another brother's channel and he said the same thing. Main thing everybody want to know is, when the last time y'all seen them? Until we hear that, it's all speculation. It's still going to be speculation, but we're going to have more to speculate on. When? Who seen them last? When was that? So if you say you ain't seen them in a week or so, man, ain't no telling how long they could have been up there. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling when this happened. Everybody just got confused because they said they were supposed to be out of town. So everybody, I know I did. I'm thinking, okay, they was leaving to go to the airport and y'all was expecting them to get there. But when I watched it back again, they didn't. That don't mean that they seen them leave, and that just means they know they were supposed to go see the other relatives. And when I found out they was going to see the other relatives, that's when I said, oh, so they might not even have to tell the relatives there in Georgia. The relatives in Georgia could have got the information from the other relatives, because these is close relatives they're going to see. So they might have got that from the auntie or something. Yeah, they coming out here. Yeah, Frank got them the 2 tickets. Yeah, girl, they coming out here. They going to stay a week. Oh, yeah, mom and them going out there to stay a week. They going, yeah, you know, like that. And everybody tell each other, yeah, they finna go see Sandy and them. We got no proof that they the ones that even told the family they was going. No, they got the autopsy, but they ain't saying nothing yet. They did the autopsy. They got the results from the autopsy, but they won't release them. Not yet. Which tells me they might have an arrest coming up. They might know who did it. Because one thing about it, if they, you know, if you ain't slick, you can't get away with nothing out there, because the camera's going to see you and ain't that much traffic. How you going to avoid the few cameras they do got? Wherever that car is parked, they got that on video. I guarantee you that. So whatever fool did it, we probably won't hear nothing until the arrest. This seemed like we're not going to hear nothing until the arrest. That's what it seemed like to me. Because usually if they ain't got no arrest and no clues or nothing, they would have released the autopsy. The only way they won't release the autopsy, because they don't want the killer to know, yeah, they was cut with a knife or there was this or that. They don't want to release that information. They want to make an arrest, then tell everything. That's what I think. I think they're going to make an arrest. Some people think they're trying to cover it up, but I don't think they're trying to cover it up. I don't think so. But that's just speculation. I could be 100 billion trillion percent wrong. It just don't seem like it. You would just release the autopsy. Holding the autopsy is not going to help you cover it up. It's a small area, but business, everybody still got to make money. This is bad for business, okay? Find some bodies up at your tourist spot. See, for money, they will slam you if you mess with the money. They don't care nothing about no white power, whites. They don't care about none of that. If you mess up the money that they all need to pay their bills, they will lock you up because that mountain's probably their only tourist spot. And who gonna want to go up there when there's been 2 dead bodies up there? Ain't nobody going up there no more until they catch you up there. Because people might think it's somebody up there killing. People might think it's somebody up in the mountains. So, common sense tell me, oh no, they got to catch whoever that is. The car still at the little tourist spot locked in there. Like, bro, you messing up the bag. And you're making everybody nervous. Because we don't know if you kill them because they black. You might just kill them because it was easy to kill them. Who knows? They might have went hiking a couple of days before they go. They might have already had that trip planned before they set up to go out of town. So he said, let's go, man. Let's go up to the mountain, man, and go up there. And, you know what I'm saying? When you live in a place like that, you got to find something to do. So that's all speculation, but it's a high possibility if they ain't released the autopsy, it's a high possibility that they finna make an arrest. Because you messing up that place will go broke. A lot of places like that, they little ice cream shop, they little food place, that's how they eat. They eat when people come there to that tourist spot. And it's obviously making money, it's still a tourist spot. So it's obviously making money because a hiker found them. So it's obviously people go there. So you messed that up? Because ain't nobody going to want to go up there. Ain't nobody going to want to go up there. The hiker that found them is traumatized. Imagine you hiking up there. The hiker like, you know what? I got to stop hiking around like this. I got to get some bear mace, a gun or something. What would you be thinking if you was hiking and you found 2 bodies up there? You would be like, you know what? I got to get a better hobby, a better career. You know what I'm saying? This ain't it. They hurting the money for sure. All the news people down there, now everybody calling y'all a sundown town. Fred, do I got any advice to give young black men off this situation? Yeah. Well, first off, if you're a young black man, right, you got to look out for racism. But my advice is not going to be any good until we find out what happened. So my advice wouldn't be any good because I wouldn't know how to advise you until I find out what happened. Because I would have to advise you to avoid what happened, but I don't know what happened. So I can't give no advice because the advice would be based off me trying to imagine what happened. And I really don't know. But when we find out what happened, G-Rod, I'll come back and I will give advice. But I can give advice, but not based on this situation. But I can give advice based on all those situations. Is that be safe out here. Be safe. Stop moving around thinking that life don't have predators. And this is where a lot of human beings make a mistake. You're not a predator, so you can't concentrate that there are actual human predators. And we're being taught that precaution hurts fun. So nobody want to be cautious, because every time you tell them to be cautious, you can tell their response is you got to live your life. Like, being cautious does not stop you from living your life. Actually, it makes you live more life. So people always mix up preparedness and caution, like you can't do that and have fun. That's the first thing they say. They jump to conclusions and say, well, you got to live your life. Nobody didn't say don't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to drive your car, but you should put a seatbelt on, and you should drive. You should look out for, you got to drive defensive. You cannot drive offensively. If you drive offensively, bad things going to happen. Let me tell y'all this story. I was out around Harvey, Illinois area, going down Dixie Highway. I'm sitting at the light at like 159th, one of them streets, going south. I look behind me, and here come a car, and it ain't slowing down. The light red. He flying. I see in the rearview mirror, I pull out across the street, and he stopped. I back up. I said, man, I get out of my car, knock on his window. It's a brother. He drunk. What's up, man? Bruh. I made a mistake. I'm like, what is you doing? You almost ran over me. Man, I'm sorry, man. Cool. My dumb ass. I get in my car. I drive down the same street. I get to the next light. I stop. I look in the rearview mirror, and what do I see again? Here he come again. Here he come again. This time he going faster. I didn't even go across the street. I turned into the middle of the street, the cross street. He didn't even stop at the red light. Just tell you, he would have killed me. I tried to chase him, and I said, you know what? I should have called the police. I should have took his keys. I should have, when he rolled the window down, I should have turned the car off, took his keys. I should have called the police. I should have turned his car off, took the keys, drove off where he can't walk and start nothing, and call the police and tell the police, I'm going to come back when they're there. I took his keys. So he won't kill him. Because that man might have killed somebody that night. I felt guilty because I left him out on the street. He almost killed me 2 times. I could not believe when I drove down to the next light. I look in the rearview mirror, and here he comes. It's nighttime, so you can see the headlights. You know a car slowing down. He going faster. I'm saying all that to say you got to be defensive out here, or you not going to stay alive. Everything you do, you got to be defensive. It's 2025. It ain't 1965. We ain't no horse and buggy. You have to be defensive. I'm telling you, you have to be defensive. You don't have to be scared. You got to be alert. And people mix that up with being scared. When I'm in the store, I'm always aware that a mass shooter could come in here. Facts. I'm always, anytime I go in the store, there's been so many mass shooters in these stores. When I go in the store, I'm always prepared for a mass shooter to come in there. It's just a natural thing I just put in my body automatically. Get the hell out the store if somebody come in there shooting. You know what I'm saying? Period. Because I watch the news, and the news say, hey, Pharaoh, people running up in stores shooting, people running up in churches shooting, people running up in auditoriums shooting, people shooting up parties. Okay, got it. You ain't got to tell me twice. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to tell me twice. People that lost their mind, they got a whole bunch of different reasons to act up. You was just in Chicago, Bell. Rest in peace, your father. They was running red lights like, yeah, I'm in the rack. Let me tell you something. Being in Chicago, if I'm in my car right here and there's cars on this side and there's cars on that side, I have to make sure they not beefing. Because if this guy's beefing with this guy, they don't care if I'm there. They just going to shoot. They don't care nothing about you being in the middle. Yeah, they have to move according to the times we live in. You know what I'm saying? They got to move like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why as soon as I get with a queen, the first thing she got to do, get a gun. She got to go get a license. She got to go get a permit. She got to go get a legal gun. She got to go to the range and learn how to shoot it. If you run into any of my exes and you out of line, they're going to pop you. Guaranteed. They're going to pop. They're going to pop you. They pop us. I taught them that because they women and people try to victimize women. They try to victimize women. My daughter just graduated. I'm gonna take her. First thing, me and my cousin work with law enforcement. Gonna take her and get a gun. She's gonna go to the range with my cousin. She's gonna be good with it, efficient with it. It's gonna make sure it's something she can hold, something she can handle. Ain't gonna jump out of hand and make something that's gonna stop you. Or stop her. Not know we don't want to injure you. She want to stop you. Because that's just the world we live in. And, I feel sorry for everybody involved in all these situations. I feel sorry for Karmelo, man, young like that, man, facing, a case like that, His mom and them got to move. He can't stay down there. He got to move after the case over. He got to get from down there. He can't stay down there. It'd be a price on his head. You know what I'm saying? So I feel sorry for him, and I feel sorry for the relatives of these young twins, trying to do good in life, trying to go out and live their life, and it's cut short. You know what I'm saying? It's cut short just like that. It's just a shame, you know what I mean? So, rest in peace to them, you know what I'm saying? Their mama's so hurt she can't even talk. You can't even imagine twins and somebody took both of them like that. Man. So look, y'all stay positive, man. And remember, man, hate is out here, and racism is out here, and violence and all is out here. So you better keep your head on the swivel. You know what I mean? That's that G talk.